All right. Hello, everybody. So we figured we wanted to try something here today. We had such a good time with our other live stream doing our fantasy football draft, which you can see on our YouTube channel.
Oh, yeah.
We were going to set this up like any normal recording for our MCU tier list because we have already talked in a lot of detail about Phase 1 and Phase 2. But instead of just recording, we figured...
We'll do it live! Fuck it!
we figured we'll do it live.
Fuck
guys, fuck it. Well, I'm making upgrades, guys. I have soundtracks here.
Sound bites.
We needed that.
Yeah, sound bites. Thank you, Mike. That's the word I was looking for. Sometimes you just have to
Do
say
it live! We'll do it live!
Fuck it, we'll do it live.
How are you guys? Everything doing good? Is the banner showing on the bottom for you?
Yep.
Our names are on there. You see I'm Iron Boy. So yeah, guys, I will share my screen with you momentarily. Check this out, by the way. I got hotkeys. Cut to camera 3. Cut to camera 4. Cut to just me. No one wants to see that.
No, I don't.
I guess we should do like our clever names that we do in our Zencast that nobody knows, unless we mention them during.
Sees.
Yeah, unless we mention them during recording, nobody knows what they are.
Right.
That's true.
All right. Let me know. I'm going to be over on the other screen, so I won't be able to see shit. Let me know if you guys... Let me go. Is this the format we like, or are we at the bottom right now?
What?
Or are we at nothing? Or my hotkeys not working?
No.
Okay, let's try this. Okay, we like being on the side, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Right.
Okay.
I'm good with the side.
Now, are you guys seeing the tier list?
Yes.
All right.
You got.
So,
all
You guys
the
are learning.
movies
You
on
guys
there.
are learning right along with us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all
Guys,
good.
these are the growing pains of going live for the second time. Yeah, so I figured we could talk all about the Infinity
Tim.
Saga. Tim?
Yeah, he's here, and he said, "Banners up. Mike looks goofy. All is right in the world."
Hi, Tim.
That's just normal life.
Let's pop that up real quick. Our first comment of the day. Thank you very much, Tim. Banner is up. Mike looks goofy. All is right in the world.
Mike's picking
Niners-
at his face.
The Niners got lucky. No, they didn't. They kicked our ass.
Yeah, luck had nothing to do with that game.
Good game, sir. And I will be charging you double for Patreon this month. So,
Corey, you just changed your name. How the fuck did you do that without leaving?
You bottom left of your screen where it says your name on that little picture. Just click it.
Oh my god.
oh my God. Guys, we want you to know how above and beyond Core is going for this live stream because that green screen is actually pretty nice. It's looking a lot better than it did last week for the draft.
I figured out how to slide the fade to where barely either of us are blinking.
Oh, okay, nice.
The
And
background's blinking a little bit, but
I just dropped
Not
a
bad.
pop. It's fine.
It's fine. Yeah, guys. So today we figured we would talk and tier list all about the Infinity and beyond.
Ooh.
We're
No,
not
just-
going beyond today.
just the
That's
Infinity.
just in. Sorry. Buzz.
No bus, no bus.
Oh god.
No, bad buzz. Okay, so let me go over and share our screen here. Right here. And here's the list. So I have 23 movies, phase 1 through 3. They were a little bit out of order, so I put them in order based on release. I figure that makes the most sense. So I was not able to make our phase 2 episode, so I didn't really share many thoughts there. So
That's
this will be a
true.
good opportunity for all three of us to get together and talk 3 phases. Back when Marvel was still good.
Wow. Not loving that.
Those were the days. So I set up most tiers here are just the normal presets, but at the top I put God tier. We have great, we have good, we have mid AF. Yes, I put that in.
Mid as F.
Mid as F. We have puny God, and then we have why was this made?
Oh, all right. So I want to just say, and this might change while we talk about it. I don't know, but I honestly don't believe that there's going to be very many in the God. Why was this made? I could think of maybe one movie.
Oh, like in the F tier, pretty much.
Yeah.
If you wait until after payday, go right ahead and charge double.
That's
Yeah,
what we
Mo.
wanted to hear, Tim.
Yeah, right.
Welcome Celine to the stream.
Oh, hey, wait, hold on,
Another
hold
one
on.
of our wonderful Patreons.
Esteemed guests. We like Celine 4 times more than we like Tim.
Horrible.
You know, we love people only based on how much money you give us.
That's
Celine, you're
fucked
my
up.
favorite. Celine, you're my favorite.
That's so fucked up. Oh,
Well, and I'm still a little sour about the 49ers, so
oh, that's true. Tim, he's just
that,
he'll be all right. He said
Tim's-
that's fair.
that's fair. Tim's a good man. Hey, Tim, if you start your podcast, just know that we will support you right back, buddy. Which at that point, wouldn't we give you 5 and you'd give us 5?
It's
Yeah, we'll figure that out
sounds like
later.
a bunch of high fives going around. There we go.
Yeah,
There's
it's
the camera.
There's, wait, camera 3. Camera 4. Camera... And here's our favorite.
Whoa.
Okay. Yeah, enough of that. All right,
Yeah.
guys. So here is our tier list. So I guess we can just start right from the beginning. Back in 2008, you had a movie come out that became pretty popular, and that movie was called The Dark Knight. Yes.
Wait.
Nailed it.
We're gonna talk about these in the order of which they were released and not the chronological order?
Oh yeah, I just explained that.
Released,
but I
I
guess you
think.
weren't
Yeah, he just
Yeah.
said
Yeah.
it live.
Sometimes when you talk, Adrian, I just kind of like, oh,
He said it live, Mike. He said it live. It was live on. Here.
oh.
Okay, here's my question though. Are we not?
at that point,
I'm
who's making
assuming.
money?
I'm assuming we're not retconning in the stuff that is now technically canon.
True.
I mean,
Why would we?
You guys can do whatever the hell you want. I don't even know what that means.
Like,
Yeah,
because Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man came over, it's technically canon to the universe now.
Well, if I put
And
the
so is
Tobey Maguire,
Garfield and
if I put the Tobey Maguire Spider-Mans, they'd all be god tier. So
and
we don't want to do that.
all 3 of them. Huh?
All 3 of them.
For more on that, go back and listen to our Spider-Man pre-No Way Home episode. It was a beaut.
I think I agree with your the ones you had at the bottom. I didn't really get a good look, but I'm assuming it was just the MCU as the first 3 came out. Yeah.
Right.
I mean,
I'm assuming we just keep it at that. Yeah.
It would be for phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, because the other movies you mentioned technically aren't phase. They're not phase movies. They weren't a part of a phase.
I know
Yeah.
that, but timeline wise, stuff happened that you could put certain places. So
Yeah. All I did is I did a little Wikipedia research, so it could be in the wrong order, and I just went by release date. They had it set up phase 1, phase 2. So this is the order I have them in. If I'm wrong, fucking talk to Mike about
I you can talk to me about it, but I'm not sure what it'll get you.
it.
we talk to Mike every week, guys. It won't get you anywhere.
Yeah, so of course The Dark Knight came out 2008. It was a huge success after the already success of Batman Begins, making that franchise more serious again after Batman and Robin, which you'll be able to hear our episode very soon. Hey, Tiger Lily.
Who's that?
Hi,
That
Tiger
is-
Lily. Oh, is that?
That's yes.
I know who that is.
That's
Yeah.
literally.
Yeah, we don't want to say names, but yeah.
Oh, hi.
Hi.
Hey, Tim, to be fair, I do answer you. You just have to message me a couple times. I'm like, oh, hey, yeah, I have a message.
And Tim, about the podcast, if you and Josie start that together, and you want us 3 to give you $5 each, but you 2 are only giving us $5 each, we're technically paying you more than you're paying us.
That's true.
All right.
Fucking
We're
things
gonna need to talk about this seriously.
Yeah, so the MCU made a decision. Started with a superhero that I would say isn't like the big ticket seller.
Yeah, it was a little weird in 2008 that they went with Iron Man because where he was a big character in the comics, obviously Tony Stark was a huge character.
Yeah.
He wasn't like the one that people talked about.
Well,
He was a little bit of a, I know people don't like the term less important, but he kind of was.
Right.
In the eyes of like what everybody knew, fame wise of comic books, Iron Man wasn't like, I got to go out and get Iron Man number 3. It wasn't.
Yeah.
You weren't
I feel like-
craving Iron Man.
I feel like most casuals, like even the people that loved the old Superman movies, love Blade, love the Spider-Man, Sam Raimi ones, I don't think Iron Man was like a guy they really knew anything about.
I think the reason I believe I mentioned this when we did our Phase 1 episode. Honestly, because Sony had Spider-Man and Fox had the X-Men, Marvel was kind of left with who the hell do we use? Like,
Yeah, those are a couple big ones.
and my true, like, I do agree it was kind of weird that they started with Iron Man instead of Captain America, because I feel like Captain America was still more popular as a character
Yeah.
than Iron Man would have been. But they knew what they were doing. I mean, they kind of took a shot there, and
Yeah, it paid off big time.
look what happened.
Oh wow, Mike, you're not alone. Celine says she fell asleep during Batman and Robin.
Oh my god! Listen, no, just no.
No,
The
literally,
first time-
listen to the episode.
Yeah, listen to the episode. But I just, if you want to hear everything I have to think about that, just listen to the episode when it comes out. Because Jesus Christ,
We have gotten Mike to watch that movie twice since we started our podcast. The first time he fell asleep.
yeah,
The second time he had to watch it was his fault.
yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, he said, "Wait, what?" So anyway, the
If
MCU.
if you'd seen the whole thing the first time, you wouldn't have had to rewatch it.
Yeah.
It's your fault.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah. So starting with Iron Man, and a good little story here. I don't know if you guys know this, but when Robert Downey Jr. was like at the height of his addiction, the thing that he credits for turning his life around is he went to Burger King and he got a burger that he said looked so disgusting that he immediately threw it in the garbage and said, "I have to turn things around."
Did you say that
So-
was Robert Downey Jr.?
That's Robert Downey Jr. That is what he
such
gives.
a-
And that is
That's-
exactly
that's par
why
for the
in the
course.
movie, when he gets rescued, he wants to go get a Burger King burger. That is his
Oh,
little
that's
nod
funny.
to that. So
Why'd you choose Burger King? If
I-
you don't want a shitty burger, you went to Burger King. All right.
but hey, had he picked a better burger, he might still be addicted. So,
Okay. No, I meant
many
in the movie.
oh, in the movie, well, he wanted to
Yeah.
give a nod to the shittiest burger place in the world.
They probably had some
You
kind
know
of
what's
deal with
weird?
Burger King
I
at the time.
prefer Burger King burgers over McDonald's burgers.
Oh, I prefer everything over McDonald's burgers, but
The only thing I like
Burger
from
King's
McDonald's is
garbage.
their breakfast sandwiches.
Yeah.
and some of those are even questionable.
Well, you know
But
what?
yeah.
We'll do a tier list on fast food joints.
Oh, for sure we will.
Yeah.
Hey, we can't all be Penguin Zero, but we'll do our own tier list. We're coming for you, Charlie, and your 13 million subscribers.
Hell yeah, they're ours now.
Okay, Celine says Wendy's. Corey, pretty good
Wow.
choice, huh? Oh, and Tim says Wendy's.
Okay, so
Always.
not to take it back to one of the many things I always usually bring up, but when Tim said I would have gone to Wendy's, it reminded me of the Richard Jenny joke where friends are arguing about where they want to eat, but if one guy had a gun, he'd fucking shoot and be like, "We're going to Wendy's."
Yeah, he even says Wendy's in the
Yeah.
joke.
Wait, Tim and Celine, are you saying you guys would go to Wendy's like that's your preferred burger, or that's where you would go for the shitty burger?
It's certainly preferred. Tim's preferred. He's in there a lot.
Oh, you see him a lot in there.
Yeah. But I would have to say, can we stop this list and just do a fast food tier list?
Fuck it. Fuck it. Scrap the whole thing.
Yeah, the things that people want to see on the internet, I'll never understand, but I'll play into. I would love to do a fast food tier
Live!
list.
Fuck it! Do it live!
And guys, we'll
do fast food tier list.
okay, so let's at least start with this a little bit here,
Okay. Yeah.
because we could be here 6 hours and not even talk about Marvel. Guys, this is look at what it's like when we try to record a podcast.
Adrian,
We
you're
just did
cutting in and out.
Oh no, am I?
No, not freezing. Your sound is
Yeah,
cutting
your
in and
sound
out.
was cutting in and out. This is kind of weird.
Is it still?
Oh,
No.
No.
All right, well, we'll hope for the best. Hope for the best, expect the worst. All right, guys.
We
So
do
the
here.
first
Culture shocked.
exactly. So the first Iron Man, obviously, you know my feelings about it. I love this goddamn movie. And, despite what people think, I loved Marvel for a long time. The first 3 phases, I was going to the theater for every movie. I was excited to see every movie. So I am excited to talk about these 3 phases here. I mean, there are still a couple stinkers, but
There's very few far in between.
yeah, there's very few. But the original Iron Man, I mean, what it did for the entire MCU, Robert Downey Jr. basically is the MCU. Like, if you had to give it a face, it's Tony
Yeah.
Stark. It's the perfect cast. Thank God that
The
Jon
perfect
Favreau,
cast.
the perfect cast. Thank God Jon Favreau gave Robert Downey Jr. this chance at redemption for his career, because
Thanks, Happy.
who knows where he would be without Iron Man? Like, really. I don't think he would be doing a Christopher Nolan Oppenheimer type film. I don't know if he'd be getting those roles.
Now, his success of Iron Man really skyrocketed him, and I think he even would say that.
Yeah, it reinvented his career, literally.
Yeah.
That's why I think
at that point he was just Vince Vaughn's buddy at that point.
I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure he said that depending on the right situation, he'd be willing to come back, right?
Oh, he'd do another one if it was right, but I think I don't want to say lack of, because I liked 2 and 3, but they kind of went downhill.
We got some hot Wendy's talk in the comments. Sorry, continue.
The slight decline of 2 and 3 for most viewers, I think, made him kind of veer away. Well, made him veer away from the whole MCU period.
Yeah,
but other than being happy still, but I think he would definitely direct another one for sure if they gave him the right script and let him have freedom.
I just meant like even just coming back in another movie that's not an Iron Man movie for like a cameo appearance.
He'll be happy.
Like, well, no, that's Jon Favreau would be happy.
Isn't that who you're talking about?
No, I'm talking about no, Robert Downey Jr.
Oh, why the hell would? I mean, that would be stupid if I don't want him to come back.
Yeah, I think Corey was talking about Jon Favreau that whole time, and Mike was talking about Robert Downey Jr. that whole time.
I was talking about
the best. I knew what was happening, and I just let it happen.
Oh, that's funny.
Well, hello again, Lily. Thanks for joining us. All right, so guys in the chat as well, while we're doing this, leave us a comment. Let us know, first Iron Man on the tier list, where are you ranking it? You know, I have my own words here, like God tier, but it's pretty much S, A, B, C, D, F. So the first Iron Man, for everything it did for the genre, for literally the perfect cast of Robert Downey Jr., the direction. You guys know that I love about 80 to 85% of this movie. It's like a near perfect superhero origin for me.
Yeah.
And then I always have an issue, and a lot of MCU movies fall to this trope, especially in phase 1 and phase 2, is like big guy versus bigger guy, or big robot versus bigger robot. Absolutely love Jeff Bridges. He's one of my favorite actors, and I even like him in the movie. But
he's kind of a weak villain.
He's kind of a weak villain. What is
Iron Man? All 3 Iron Man movies suffer from a bit of a weak villain.
Is this Warmonger? Is that this one?
Yeah.
And I actually like Jeff Bridges as the bad guy, just in a suit, like in an actual business suit, like double crossing Tony. But when it becomes, these movies do a thing where they clearly show a training montage, like it takes Tony a while to adjust.
Yeah.
But for some reason, everyone else that gets in the suit just automatically knows how to use it, and they kick ass.
Well,
I hate that.
Look at Obadiah. He's a big dude. He fucking already knows how to fight.
Yeah, when Rhodey gets in there, he knows. When Pepper gets in there, she knows. Warmonger.
Hold on. Rhodey's a military trained.
But he hasn't trained in using a mech suit.
No, but his is a little bit more understandable. Actually, out of all of them, he's the one that makes the most sense to be able to control it right off the bat.
Yeah,
he would at least have the basic understanding of how something flies.
He's in the Air Force, right?
Yeah. Yes.
So I mean, they deal with that kind of tech all the time. Not
and I can forgive him.
Stark tech, but
and I can forgive him kicking Tony's ass in the second one because Tony's hammered.
Oh yeah, he's not ready for a fight,
which is hilarious.
Which I love they threw that in there too, because he has had an alcohol problem a few times in the comics.
Yeah, Rhodey literally had to take over for him.
Yeah, and like he was so bad he almost killed himself in an issue. I was glad they at least threw a mild alcoholic Tony in there.
For me, what kind of cracked me up was when he's like, he's peeing in this suit.
Yeah, he says the most common question I get is, how do I use the bathroom in the suit?
And then he goes, like, just like that.
Just like that. Oh my god, Corey.
Uh,
He gives when Tony accidentally like fires off the hand cannon when he's drunk.
Yeah.
That gives me total Frank energy when he's tripping on acid. Holy shit, this thing's loaded.
Yeah.
That giant lizard can talk.
Sonny.
honestly, dude, the first Iron Man, even if you have problems with it, it has to be, for me, it has to be God tier, because without it, you don't get the rest.
Even if it is a mediocre movie, which it is not,
It is not, no, by any
It
means.
it
I'm not
belongs
saying
at the
it is.
top. It belongs at the top for all those other movies sitting there that would probably not exist.
There
Oh,
are
this
some
is-
sitting there that I wish didn't, but
I
This
hate
is
that,
actually
but-
this is actually great because
there's just one.
And by the way, our tier list, it'll be weighted 3 ways. So like say 2 of us want to give it an S and 1 of us want to give it like a C. It's still
I'm
going
gonna
to
be.
stay
I'm gonna
like,
be out. That was me versus them, by the way, that he's talking about.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be outvoted a few times in this.
yeah, two things to understand. One, this is all relative. So this is in terms
Yes.
of MCU movies, not every movie in life.
You guys
Yes.
are relative, but I'm not.
Like even bad MCU movies, and I'll say this, like even bad MCU movies, I don't think are as bad as a lot of like Ghost Rider, Spirit of Vengeance, and
Oh
it's
God,
not
no.
like that level of Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Well,
Fuck you.
there's
some
one.
people might say Spider-Man 3.
There's legitimately one movie in this entire series you got so far that I skip almost every time I do a rewatch.
What do you mean out of the
everybody-
first 3 phases?
Yeah,
Everybody knows
Yeah.
which one that is.
I probably know
Yep.
what it is. But yeah.
we'll get
so,
there.
So the first thing, the whole tier list, it's relative to Marvel movies. This isn't like at the top is like The Godfather or Shawshank Redemption. At the bottom is Birdemic. Like it's not that.
Well,
What's wrong with Birdemic?
I love Birdemic.
Okay,
For
We'll do a
some
bad
of us,
movie episode on that someday.
for some
yeah.
of us, the S tier at the top is relative to those movies.
Actual Marvel. There are probably some Marvel movies that would be near top tier for me. As
there
far
are
as
some
movies.
Marvel movies I think do not get enough credit because they're comic book movies, and that to
Right.
me is a shame.
It holds it back for some people, like when it's
Yeah.
actually a good movie.
Like in
And
the
that-
early 2000s, mid 2000s, late 2000s, this wasn't an argument because people just loved every comic book movie that was coming out because
They
we're getting
did.
comic book movies. Now it's soured a little bit for people, and there's a different view on money grabbing. So it's a different
cash
argument
camel.
now. It's a cash camel. As
This
Mike likes to
episode's
say.
brought to you by Gatorlight.
It's not.
It's not at all.
And Dr.
If
Pepper.
we get a, if
It's also
don't
not.
listen to that if we get a copyright strike.
If we were
Okay,
sponsored by either of those,
That'd be
so
fantastic.
Tim chimed in and said Iron Man was a list. That would be great on y'all's list. Okay, and he also says still
Still
waiting
waiting
for Reese
for Reese.
Witherspoon.
You just want to hear me talk about Sweet Home Alabama again.
Tim, that's coming right after our Berenstain Bears episode.
that was like episode 600 something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so a couple like 10 years.
We
be
only got
talking-
500 more to
Okay.
go.
We'll get to it.
Well, 2 of us will probably be dead in the next 10 years. But okay, so guys, this is actually fun because I was fully prepared and okay to put this in great, like A tier. I thought you guys weren't going to quite say S. And what I wanted to finish with is 1, this is all relative to MCU movies, and 2, it's weighted 3 ways. So if 2 of us say S, 1 of us says like C, it'll still get an A because more of us voted
Yeah.
high.
We're gonna
So
go the average, yeah.
Yeah, the average to the mean. So I was fully prepared to go an A here. I thought that's what you guys were going to land on. I would put
No.
this God tier, but if you guys are okay
I-
putting it there, I'll put it
I
there.
absolutely love this movie. The only problem I really have with it is the villain, and like you said, I like Jeff Bridges too. I just and Corey said it. Every Iron Man film has a weak villain.
It does.
So
The one thing I do like about the villain fight here is the idea that Jeff Bridges doesn't think about everything. Because Iron Man's like, what did you do about the ice problem? He's like, ice problem, and he freezes when they fly up to the air. He's like, oh, I guess you didn't think of everything.
I'm glad we can
See-
entertain you while you're cleaning.
See,
it really?
Ironmonger is an extremely weak villain, but Obadiah Stane is a very compelling villain.
Oh no! As far as
so
I think I
it
liked him
kind
before
of
this
fixes it a little bit.
and
Yeah.
I think that does help a lot with me in the movie. Like Obadiah himself, is actually compelling, and like you said,
Yeah.
you're kind of like, who is this asshole? And why is he trying to like destroy what Tony's trying to do?
Yes.
But it's just as soon as he puts the new suit on, that's bigger and stronger and da 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 da. Like
Right.
I kind of lose it there. But I mean, the fight scene between them isn't that bad.
No. Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
I do have a curious question though, and we're gonna get really into this as we go further with these movies. But in the MCU world, people's insurance have to be sky high in these cities where they're located.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I like,
There's a lot of property damage.
Do you
between
have your
this and
do you have
DC
your Hulk
movies.
coverage? My Hulk
Your-
coverage.
your
Yeah,
Hulk
you're gonna need
coverage.
Hulk coverage.
You live in Queens, you're gonna need your Hulk coverage.
and Hulk, smash.
We'll get there.
Yeah, we'll get there. Damn it. Nah, nah, nah. All right, guys. So, wow, are we starting this tier list off with an S, a God tier?
Absolutely. For me, it's an S.
Corey, you're all right with that?
I would agree.
Even
with
if you,
that.
I was gonna say, I guess even at this point, if you say A, it's going S based on average.
Yeah. F
Yeah.
you.
All right, guys. So we're
I
starting.
would-
Wow.
I would personally have it at great.
Yeah, I
but
understand an argument for
the
it.
fact that it started the whole thing,
That's
S is fine with me.
that's the thing that makes me put a God tier, because if it wasn't for the fact that it started everything, it would be just great for me.
If this
Yeah.
wasn't the first movie in the MCU, it would probably be great.
Tim, don't you dare.
What do you say?
She-Hulk smash. Oh wait.
She-Hulk season 2 confirmed, by the way.
See that was the first show that Marvel's done that I just absolutely hated.
Wow, guys, somebody clip this. We just got a sigh of from Corey about the MCU. We just got a sigh.
Well,
just
I mean,
Tim, clip that for me, would you?
listen, if Corey were about to defend She-Hulk, I probably would have just walked away right now.
There's very little to
Mike's-
defend there. It was a trash pile.
Oh,
They did
yeah.
not do a good job. They changed too much. They made it all about being the like gentle protagonist over the fighter. I just didn't.
Yeah,
It just no.
Now, I mean, if you know anything about the comic of She-Hulk, they did kind of keep her character a little bit like she is funny.
No.
She breaks the fourth wall. She is like not meant to be serious,
right.
but
You-
they kind of made her a joke.
But she also smashes.
Yeah,
She-Hulk
that's what I
also
mean.
fights and beats people
Yeah,
up.
she does.
and she smashes a couple times on the show actually. So,
Oh, does she?
but they neutered Blonsky. They made Abomination a like
Abomination.
cultist hippie.
Yeah,
Abomination.
They made
They made a
Abomination.
cultist
Yeah.
Oh, that-
hippie.
that's
They made
weird.
him an abomination.
Yeah, that's.
They
I didn't
the
know
whole
that.
end of the show, and I don't care if I'm spoiling for anybody because it sucked. The whole
She-Hulk
end of the
spoilers.
show is She-Hulk finally finds who's responsible for everything. It turns out it's Kevin Feige, but Feige is a computer who's running Marvel. And and the little robot's wearing a hat. It's kind of funny because Kevin Feige always has a hat on.
Oh.
But then she decides she wants to change because it's a giant, awesome fight at the end. Like they're starting to beat each other up. Everybody's fighting. Hulk's there. Abomination's fighting. She decides, wait, this isn't how I wanted this to end. Finds Kevin Feige, makes him change it to where they all get along.
Yeah.
And Blonsky turns himself back in because he broke his probation.
Huh.
Well,
How interesting does that sound?
Kudos for her for the whole
Well, now-
fourth wall
you-
break and meta
you-
thing, but they
Corey,
they did it wrong.
Corey, you actually just sold me. I'm gonna watch it now.
Have fun.
All I saw is that clip of her twerking. I'm like, I'm out.
Have fun because I think you'll be the first one who did.
Corey, this clip of her twerking was about the same time I was out on Antonio Brown when I saw him twerking. I'm like, yep, I can't do it anymore.
See, it didn't bother me that she was twerking because the character and who she was representing in the episode made sense. But
Yeah.
it is a little weird that they had her twerk at the end of an episode
With
a
who was it?
famous-
Megan the Stallion or
Yeah, Megan the
who-
Stallion. It made sense that she was doing it with her
Yeah.
because
what
she's
point-
known to do that. But
I do
It's
like how
just-
the guy just walked by and looked and he's like, huh. And he just kept walking.
I know
it just didn't make sense.
I know we're doing this tier list on the first three phases, but that brought up a very awful question for me. Excuse me. At what point,
Guys, we will talk about phase 1 through
Yeah.
3 at some
Yeah.
point.
At what point are we gonna just admit that Marvel, Disney in general, is just trying to milk all of this for what it's worth and not really give a shit about the product anymore? Like the Mandalorian season 3, they were just throwing random fucking cameos in that didn't make sense and weren't that great.
Yeah.
Like they're doing the
Yep.
same thing. Like maybe not necessarily the movies, but the TV shows. I think I'm afraid of how they're going to turn out because I feel like they're just
Yeah, to
pushing
be fair,
out shit.
to be fair, everybody's kind of guilty of that right now. Like it used to be a thing where Easter eggs and cameos and fan service was fun. Now everyone's shoving it down our throat. Like everyone. Every fucking franchise you love and watch now, it's like, hey, remember these characters from 40 years ago? Like they're doing it with the goddamn Exorcist movie. Like what?
Here's the thing, and I'm pretty sure I've been quoted saying this before in many episodes. I don't mind fan service when it's done right, but most of the time it's not, and that's what pisses me off. Like when it makes, oh my god, sorry for the mic hit. When it makes
this is typical
sense,
for everybody who doesn't hear our before edits.
when they can make it make sense into the story and everything, then fantastic. That's when I love it. But when it's just like an obvious in your face, like, hey, check this out. Remember that time back in like 1992? We're gonna bring that back so you could see it because it's funny still. And then you're like, no.
The fan service that you can feel like elbowing you in the side, like, hey, remember when that happened? Hey, remember when that happened?
Do you know what movie did that the worst?
What's that?
The second Boondock Saints movie.
I can't say I remember anything about
Okay,
that
now
movie.
we're really veering far off.
I'm just telling you. I'm just telling you that as that being one of my favorite movies, when I saw the second one, there was so much about it. I mean, I enjoyed it, but there's so much about it that pissed me off because of fan service.
Yeah.
Stay tuned for our Norman Reedus spotlight.
Episode 923.
I'm sure we'll do that before Reese Witherspoon one. No offense to Reese Witherspoon.
Hey,
all right, guys. She was. All right, guys, let's move on. So movie number 2, the first, well, not the first rendition. This isn't Lou Ferrigno or Eric Bana, but the first MCU rendition, and probably the movie that feels the least like an MCU movie.
Well, it's because it wasn't made by
exactly.
Yeah.
So the Incredible Hulk.
This is my biggest argument for this movie.
Let's talk
I hate when people say that because it wasn't made by the same studio, but it was absolutely made to be an MCU movie.
Oh no, that's why I was just saying why Adrian says it doesn't feel like a typical MCU movie is because it wasn't made by the studio.
This Hulk was always intended to like be with the Avengers.
Yes.
And,
which is a shame that Edward Norton didn't come back because
I agree.
There was a lot behind that.
There was on both sides.
I love Mark Ruffalo as Hulk. Don't get me wrong.
I was going to say I'm absolutely going to argue with you that Mark Ruffalo didn't belong there because he absolutely does.
Yeah, no. I love Mark Ruffalo where he's at. It's a shame because out of the Hulk movies we did get, the Edward Norton one's the one I like the most.
I agree.
And we got what, 3 of them?
Yeah, I think it's not Mark Ruffalo's
movies. We only got 2.
Yeah, the way they. Yeah, 2003,
Ragnarok was kind of half and half, but there was only 2 fully Hulk movies.
Yeah,
so what was it? Eric Bana and
Hulk, and then the Incredible Hulk.
Okay, yeah.
Hey, Timothy. I have Hulk Rank C, which is lowest on my list because I don't hate any Marcel movie. What's a Marcel movie, Tim?
that would be.
Is it because we're talking about Friends? Marcel.
Yeah, that's Ross's.
Marvel. Have I mentioned that I hate autocorrect? Hey, Tim, I only have one thing to say to you. 30-7. Oh, wait. That was, you guys won.
Damn it.
I thought I was bragging.
I keep trying to talk and it's not working.
He's like,
this does not work
this
does not work when your team sucks.
All right, but not only do I love Edward Norton, he was a great Bruce Banner. I loved him.
I would have liked an alternate world to see what he did with the character.
Yeah. Adrian, you're wrong about one thing. Lou Ferrigno is still the voice of Hulk in this movie.
Is it?
Lou Ferrigno is still involved.
And he's in the movie.
And he's in the movie as a cameo. He's in both Hulk movies as a cameo.
Fan service.
Yeah. But I want to say that Tim Roth in this movie as Blansky is absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
He's so good in this movie. And I'm gonna butcher this. Ross, who's the actor who played Ross, just died.
Oh, who played who played like the
Thunderbolt.
Marshal?
Thunderbolt Ross.
Yeah, Bolitnikov. No, wait, that's a football player.
No, that is not the same thing.
You were
Mike,
talking
your research
about.
department. Get
I'm,
on it.
I'm working. I'm working on it right now.
You're what? Jamie's
Guys,
way better than the
guys.
Joe Rogan
Unfortunately, Mike is our he's our fact checker, and
well, as you can
Jesus.
see, we have dead air, so he sucks. What's his name, Mike?
Is it William Hurt?
yes, Jesus, IMDb. It would have taken 2 seconds.
I just Googled it. I'm
Wait,
sorry.
Corey,
Yeah,
you said
that's
you,
the problem.
Corey,
You were looking around.
Corey, you
What?
said you're gonna butcher that like it was a hard name.
Yeah, that's why I was confused.
No, what? No, that's not what I
Oh.
meant.
Oh,
I meant butcher this dead air.
Oh, okay.
I was murdering ass.
Makes sense. He was
But-
smashing.
He was,
yeah, right.
Smashing.
but the actors all in it. I mean, even Liv Tyler, she did a great job.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which there's rumors she'll be back, and
Oh, really?
it's gonna be weird to see
Betty.
her interact with Smart Hulk.
Yeah. With Professor Hulk, yeah.
Oh,
But
God.
they also might not bring her back now because William Hurt died. They might just completely
Oh.
scrap that idea.
Yeah.
I don't
Since
know.
they
Yeah.
recasted
No.
him with Harrison Ford.
Harrison Ford, which is weird, but whatever.
I'm
I'll
okay
say-
with it.
I will say, I don't. Mark Ruffalo, obviously, he did nothing wrong. He took a great role. And I love Mark Ruffalo as an actor. I don't think it's his fault. I think it's honestly what the MCU did with Hulk. I think they kind of neutered him.
Well,
At a
They
certain
just
point,
they just went a specific route with him.
right?
Yeah.
And I'm
Professor
not a fan
Hulk
of the way they
exists.
went. I know. I don't like it at all.
Yes, it never bothered. me.
I don't think, but not just the professor thing. I don't think Hulk was given much shine. Like after the Avengers and like Age of Ultron, besides Ragnarok, he was kind of forgotten about. I think he's the one that suffers more than any like Avenger. That's just me though. Like the way Hulk started this franchise with Edward Norton, like I said, I would have loved to see him continue. And I loved the Hulk and Ragnarok. I loved him in the Avenger movies. And then he was just kind of wasn't used, or he was
See,
scared to come out because of Thanos.
In the comics, Hulk hid a lot. So when it wasn't a specific Hulk comic book, he
Yeah.
kind of was hidden away in mountains in other countries.
Yeah.
They couldn't find Hulk half the time because Banner was just trying to get a control on it.
Right. Me too, Tim. Me too.
That's why Hulk was kind of what you said, neutered.
Hmm.
But that was actually Banner getting a control on it so he could be around more.
Uh,
It was kind of their fix that they didn't have a crazed monster with them at all times.
now
Yeah.
I'm curious if they would have kept Edward Norton. Do you think that they would have still went that route, or do you think Edward Norton would have been like,
No.
"This is silly. I don't like that."
Well, I mean,
I'm
Edward-
not saying it's silly. I know the comics.
Edward
I know-
Norton's done silly, but no,
Yeah.
I don't think he would have liked the route they went with Hulk. I think he wanted to keep playing Hulk
Agreed.
the way he was Hulk.
Yeah, because that's for better or worse. Phase one. That's what you have. Like you have to say. Phase one it's a lot darker in tone. There's more
Which I like.
violence. Yeah,
I like.
like this fucking first Hulk movie, dude. When he first transforms into the Hulk and he's in the shadows, it's shot like a horror movie, like the monster.
Yeah.
Like he's coming out, all you can see is like maybe his hand real quick, and he grabs somebody and they go flying against walls. Like Hulk is killing people in this movie. He probably kills like 50 people in this film.
Yeah.
Iron Man kills people in his movies. Like the phase one of the MCU, like you said, Mike, and I agree, I liked it a lot more. It was darker, it was grittier, and then it kind of got Disneyfied. Kinda like
Thor kills a bunch of frost giants.
I'm
Yeah,
good with that.
I like him too, but the new Indiana
Wow,
Jones
Mike's
movies-
racist against frost giants.
Well, they're it's just really all the blue for me.
It's all the
It's because
Oh,
I'm
God.
blue, isn't it?
I was about to say Blue Lives, but then that was actually a thing, so never mind. Frost Giants lives matter. We'll say that. Celine says, I like them too, but the new Indiana Jones movies are bad. Oh, they are terrible, Celine. Another thing that, well, the
I haven't
newest
seen
one,
the new
that,
one.
that Disney neutered, but it was already bad with Crystal Skull.
Yeah.
Tim says,
I haven't,
Crystal Skull
I
is
haven't seen Dial
mediocre.
yet either.
Oh, Dial.
Oh, ew.
Okay.
This Corey Baker on here said all the Indiana Jones movies are bad. Thank God he's not a part of a podcast.
Yeah, God.
He
His
shouldn't have
opinions
opinions.
are his opinions are literally shit. Okay. So The Incredible Hulk, where are we landing on this one? What did we think of it? Like, I mean, we've talked about it. Where do you guys think it belongs?
I think it's good.
I-
I
yeah,
would
let
say
me-
good.
I would probably say good. I'm between good and mid AF.
Well, I was going good, so you're
Were you?
outvoted on that one.
Okay, I'm outvoted, so we'll go, and I'm fine with that. I'm good with good. Good is good, guys.
You got that good.
Good is good. Great is good. God is great. God tier is great. Not. Never mind. I'm gonna stop before
Let's
I get
stop
myself
that
in
right
trouble.
there.
Yeah, I'm gonna get myself in trouble. We're live. We'll do it live. Fuck it. All right, guys. Let's jump back to the Downeyverse. We're at Iron Man 2. So Iron Man
Okay.
2. What did you think of this follow up?
There are many things about Iron Man 2 I actually really enjoy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But
and
again,
it can be summed up in 2 words: Justin Hammer.
that's right. I will always watch a Sam Rockwell performance.
Hell
It doesn't
yes.
matter what he's in.
Yeah, he was amazing. Yes.
Sam Rockwell kind of saved the movie a little bit for me.
He did.
It's still not one of my favorites, but I love Justin Hammer.
Now, I also love Mickey Rourke. Wow.
It's Mickey Rourke.
No, it is Mickey Rourke. I was right.
Yeah,
about
it's
that.
Mickey Rourke.
I got
like,
him and
you-
Nick Nolte mixed up.
You confused me when you said, "Wait, not Mickey Rourke," and I was like, "Wait, then who the fuck is it?"
But Mickey Rourke, I
William
love him
Hurt?
as an actor, and I think he did good with what he had.
Yeah.
But the version of Whiplash we got, even though Whiplash in the comics isn't like a super awesome, holy shit, he's here character. I can't believe it's Whiplash. He did
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah, it was kind of underwhelming. This movie spent way too much time with him trying to get his goddamn bird.
That's true.
Like
I
we
was
get
like,
we
what
get
the-
it, dude. We miss your bird. We get
I
it.
want my bird.
Okay, I'm gonna say something that might be
He's I'll get your bird. I'll get you 10 birds. I want my bird.
I
Okay,
might
is
say
this a
something-
special bird in Russia or something?
I might say something that's an unpopular opinion here. But as I've gotten older and I've watched these movies a couple times now, I think I actually prefer Iron Man 3 more than Iron Man 2.
No,
I agree with you. Yeah,
Um,
I think it's just because I love Shane Black so much. But
Yeah, it
well,
helps.
I used to
Well,
think
we'll
that I used to think Iron Man 3 was kind of like, not a great movie, and
I think Iron
is
Man
the
3
best
gets
story
better.
of all the Iron Mans.
I think it gets better with every like subsequent watch. Every time I watch it, it gets a little bit better to me.
it's a lot like Corey said, it's a lot stronger of a story, and
Yeah.
I think it actually takes like, it's not like your typical Marvel film. You got to kind of like pay attention to what's going on. You can't
Yeah.
just kind of look off to the side, have a conversation with somebody, and then look back and be like, "Oh, now this is happening." What? Like,
And a big
that's-
thing for Iron Man 3 is I think it took Robert Downey Jr. and Don Cheadle. I think it took them a movie to find that chemistry. In Iron Man
Yeah.
2, they don't feel like best friends to me. In
Yeah,
Iron Man 3,
okay.
they totally do. Like in Iron Man 3, they're making the joke about, because what is it? Rhodey wants to call it the Iron Patriot, and Tony Stark hates that name. he's like, wow, War Machine is so much better than Iron Patriot.
Oh,
And then
man, yeah.
Tony's like, hey, I'm gonna need the password. Rhodey's like, War Patriot rolls with a Z. Yeah, but as far as 2, I love Justin Hammer. Sam Rockwell is so good at hamming it up. I don't like the chemistry there between him and Don Cheadle at first. It does Don Cheadle gets a lot
Yeah.
better as Rhodey, but I did like Terrence Howard as well.
Well, Terrence Howard shouldn't have been so greedy.
Well, the MCU studio, not the names that we know, but the higher ups are notoriously famous for underpaying their actors, except Robert Downey Jr. Like the other actors weren't making nearly as much as him, which I get it, but still, like they should have been getting paid more.
But I mean, that was you got to admit that was a boss move on Marvel's behalf. They were like, "You want more money? We could replace you easily. We don't need another. We could get another roadie. Can't get
We
another
can't.
Tony
They
Stark."
already did it once.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll do it again. Yeah, there's only one RDJ. Which before 2008, everyone would have been like Robert Downey Jr. Wasn't he big for like a couple of years in the 90s?
Yeah.
Which is crazy. Yeah, but Iron Man 2, I think it has a lot of issues. Again, a weak villain. Yeah, to me, it's probably the weakest of the trilogy. Not a bad movie. Again, not a bad movie.
No, none
But-
of the Iron Man movies are bad.
It doesn't have the depth of the third movie. It doesn't have that freshness of the first one.
But that first scene when he jumps out of the plane and he's comfortable with being Iron Man finally. And he's flying down towards the expo with fireworks going on around him. And he lands and like lifts his arms up and everybody's happy to see him. The Thing takes the suit off and he's in a tuxedo. That was cool. Like the beginning of the movie is really cool.
You're also forgetting that this movie introduced Scarlett Johansson as the Black Widow.
It did. Natasha. Yeah, and this is probably
I want one.
I want one. I love when she's like changing into her suit in the back of the Happy's like looking at. She's like eyes on the road. He's like, yeah, I got it. That gives me the same energy as Will Arnett in the Ninja Turtles movie when Megan Fox.
Oh
like,
yeah.
He's like, no, keep looking.
Yeah, when she's hanging out the window. Yeah.
Get back in here. No, actually, keep looking. But I do think these are probably Natasha's two best fight sequences in the whole franchise.
Yeah.
Like she's good through the whole MCU, but her fights in this movie, especially like at the Hammer building, so badass.
Well, they had to make sure that when they introduced this badass spy character, that she had to look badass.
Right. And of course, at the beginning, like when Happy's talking to her in the ring, he's treating her like a little, dainty, and then she flips his ass over. Great introduction for Natasha.
Yeah.
I love that flip move too. She nails
it.
it.
That little thing she always does, like when she like swipes somebody's leg and then she's like down, and, like her one leg's spread out to the one side, but she's like, I don't fucking know how to even describe it, but I mean, that's kind of became like a staple of hers. Like she does that in like a lot of
she does a lot of movies. She does a lot of Hurricanrana type moves.
She does.
That's true.
I think Natasha would be a luchador.
God damn it, the Hurricane would be so pissed.
Stand back. There's a Natasha coming through. Yeah, but she's totally badass in the movie. So it looks like we have a couple
Tim,
looks like we have a couple B's.
So Tim said that it looks like a Spider-Man pose, which it does.
Oh yeah, I can see that.
And then
me too.
And then her sister adopts it in Black Widow.
In Black Widow,
yes,
which we will not get to on this one, but we'll talk about it.
I don't hate that movie as much as you guys, or as much as Adrian does.
I was gonna say, fuck you. I like it.
Well, I just hate movies. That's kind of my thing.
It's true. Adrian does hate movies.
He does.
Why do you do a pop
there's
culture
one thing
podcast?
And a movie review channel. So I can just be like, sucks. Corey, you're missing one thing though. Natasha screwed up when she flipped Happy because unlike Batgirl, she didn't go, hiya!
That's true. Everybody knows you yell hiya when you flip people.
She also didn't do any like really bad dialogue, like "you're toast."
You're about to be compost. Now, yeah, if you want a Razzie, you go hiya.
That's how you do it.
All right, guys. So Iron Man 2 looks like Tim and Celine are saying in the good tier. What do you guys think? Are you kind of agreeing there?
Mid as fuck.
Oh, mid. Oh, worse than the Hulk?
Yeah.
What do you think, Mike?
I agree. Mid as fuck.
I would go good under the Hulk, but I've been outvoted. So Iron Man 2, mid AF. Hey, look at this. I'm being a little more generous than you guys are so far in the MCU.
Yeah, at the moment. Well,
I knew when it came to Iron Man, you would be, though.
That's true.
You love Iron Man. That's why your name's Iron Boy.
Iron Boy. Iron Boy.
Hey, it's all right. My favorite character, the original 6 Avengers, doesn't even get that much love, so it's cool.
Who's that?
Look, check the name, yo.
Eyes of Heart. I didn't even realize you changed your name. Okay, so what have we missed? LOL. All right, guys. So
Like, what do
See
we
that,
miss?
Mike
It's
Mike
very
is doing
important.
a great demonstration of LOL. That's what that is.
Yeah, it did. Yes.
Mike
you're-
likes
you're
visual aids.
Yeah, I was just
Mike's
helping
killing it
y'all
with the
out.
acting.
Uh,
Okay, guys, let's talk about it. The next Avenger up is our good friend Thor. So the introduction of Thor.
I am probably one of the few in this world that went to theaters to see that and left loving that movie.
First introduction of Hawkeye.
True.
So wait, Corey
Corey
left
you
a
had to
Marvel.
mention it.
Of course I did.
Okay, to our listeners, this just in. Corey left a Marvel movie loving it.
I did. It's amazing. Look at my name, Marvelous King. Look, I like Marvel movies. I'm not going to apologize. All right.
You shouldn't have to. I mean, I'm
I
just an
don't.
asshole.
I won't do it. You can't make me.
I
I'll do
like
it.
them, right? All this stuff back here, that's not just only DC mostly.
guys, let us know in the chat. What movie are we on? Thor. What do you think of the original Thor?
The original Thor, number 1.
Number 1. So
We're
the
not talking about
introduction-
2.
So introduction of Chris Hemsworth, introduction of Tom Hiddleston.
Oh my god, yes.
I love everything in Asgard. What has always held this movie back for me is everything on Earth. I think it's also a problem in the second movie. I think anytime Earth sequences are happening, except when Thor's first like learning the culture, smashing beers on the floor, that's great. I
my
love
God.
when he goes to
Yeah.
I love when he goes to the pet store and he's looking for a horse. Let me get a horse. Guys, like we have dogs, cats, birds. Let me get one of those big enough to ride.
The Thor movies, I think, and I don't remember the second one really being very funny, but the Thor movies definitely have a lot more comedy in them that I enjoy.
because
Especially in the later
Thor-
ones.
That's because Thor as a character was always kind of like a dumb Viking belching, drinking warrior.
Which
So he
is
always
like,
was kind of funny.
what Thor in the first movie reminds me of is that show I tried to tell you you should check out, Adrian, Resident Alien. He really doesn't fit in, and he's just
No.
like he's trying his hardest to be kind of like human like, but he has no fucking idea.
Well, he's a dumb, naive kid still, technically, in the first
Yeah.
one.
Have an A tier. We have
And,
an A tier.
Uh,
Wow, Selena and Tim, you guys are perfectly on each other's tier list.
I-
Throw solo cup.
Tim, throw solo cup. That's good. Tim. Give me $5.
Muttley joined the group.
Oh, Lily says,
Yeah,
Hawkeye's
heck
my bad.
yeah.
Right, there you go, Lily.
Fucking love
That's what's up.
Hawkeye.
I mean, you and Mike are wrong, but it's hey, I'm glad you like them.
Whatever.
You're definitely
Yeah,
wrong,
so-
but I love it either way. You not Mike.
Imagine,
we have to keep saying that at the beginning. I mean, you're wrong, but
imagine being like one of the only ones that doesn't really have powers, and you're still fucking there, just
right.
trying your best.
Well, two
Just-
of the 6 originals don't have powers.
That's true.
Well, 3 of their 6 originals don't have powers.
Mike, can you give us our
Technically, Iron Man doesn't have powers. He built
That's
his powers.
true, but that's true.
Mike, can you give us your interpretation of this comment? And
So-
now
wow.
it was better when it was organic.
It was yeah, that was really
I
fake.
don't know. It was pretty close.
That was kind of
pretty
close to
good.
my butt.
It's starting
Right-
to make
right
me
there.
wonder if Mike just fake laughs.
No,
Yeah.
just- I-
No,
sometimes I
Right
wish
there.
I didn't laugh like that.
right there, Mike sounded like that dog cartoon that sounds like he has like a smoker wheeze.
Yeah, it's Muttley.
Yeah, Muttley. Yeah, that's what you sounded
Yeah,
like.
and Corey said it earlier. Muttley, he said Muttley and he entered the chat.
Oh, okay. So yeah, Thor. Love everything in Asgard. Love Heimdall. Love Thor. Love Loki. I think what the movie does at the beginning, really, it's a good character arc for Thor because he is kind of a major dick at the beginning, very arrogant.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
kind of hate him at the beginning. I'm not gonna lie.
I think the movie starts you off liking Loki a lot more than Thor.
I mean,
Yeah,
I
well,
love Loki all the time. So
Well, yeah.
He is known as the god of mischief and misdirection. I think that was on purpose to misdirect you to think that Loki was like a sympathetic character.
Yeah.
I think they
But-
did that on purpose.
okay,
Yeah, but where I think the movie suffers again, an MCU problem. It gets better in some phases than others, but MCU has a villain problem. A
Yeah.
lot of times they're very generic. This is a very generic villain, unless you're counting Loki as the villain, which one of the best, amazing.
No, absolutely.
But I think it suffers with the main Earth villain. And like I said, just the Earth stuff I don't love. I think Chris Hemsworth and Natalie Portman have almost zero chemistry. I don't care about that love interest whatsoever.
No,
Kat
never
Dennings,
have.
you know, she's fine, but I don't care about these characters.
I will
And
say,
I think Sif was a better match
Yeah.
for Thor.
yes.
Yeah,
I will say that, I know you don't really like the Earth stuff, but that whole entire thing about all those like the government people and everybody trying to get that hammer the fuck out of the ground,
that's cool.
like that whole scene that cracks me up.
That
Like
felt
when
that felt very Sword in the Stone kind of.
yeah, and then when you got Stan Lee in the truck trying to pull it out and it fucking rips
Did
the
I get
truck
it?
off you. Did I get it?
Yeah, he's credited in that movie as Stan the Man, by the way.
Nice.
That's awesome. That part is hilarious because that is totally something like we would do as Earthlings. Every
Yeah.
every tough guy would be coming from 500 miles away. No one can lift this
Absolutely.
hammer, huh? I can. That is funny. I like that.
And almost 100% of them would think it was a trick or
Well,
that's
and-
bullshit. It's bolted down or something.
and all the
Goddamn
guys,
Democrats.
the reason why that never came out of the ground and somebody never picked it up is because anybody who has that mentality is not going to be worthy of picking that fucking hammer up. Because it's going to be all
Yeah,
these
right.
guys just trying to be like, oh yeah, I'm the best.
Pride, too much pride.
I like
Which,
it.
by
Tim,
the
I
way,
like it.
guess who has way too much pride? Thor. He holds the hammer all the time.
He does. Yeah,
It's
Tim
true.
says Jesus, I can't read. Sif made more sense as a love interest for Thor. Jane was more of a the heart wants what it wants kind of thing.
With
Hey.
the eye roll emoji.
Even though eventually in the comics and now in the movies, Jane became Thor. She became a much better
The mighty
match.
Thor.
She became a much better match for Thor as time went on. But when it started, yeah, it was a little weird that Thor was so infatuated with a relatively normal Earthling.
An earthling.
There's nothing. I mean, she was very smart. She knew a lot about his life, even though there wasn't a lot out there about it that
Yeah.
they could find out. She was very smart. She was a scientist. I get why he was interested in her, but it
Yeah.
seemed like arrogant Thor in the first movie would have been way more interested in a girl like Sif who was kicking ass beside him.
Yeah. Father,
Yeah.
we'll finish them together.
I know he was so wrong about that.
I love it. Oh, of course. So you could almost say Jane makes a better match for Thor in Thor 4.
Yeah, I like that.
You know
Yeah,
what?
I think that's
a
right.
mouthful.
Yeah, right.
You can
Well,
put, you can
Love and
put that
Thunder.
on the box.
Can you try to say that 5 times fast?
Thor 4 4 Thor Thor. No, that's
What?
just good. And
Mike, you
that's
missed
just,
a good joke. You missed a good joke there.
what was
Mike,
it?
you should have said try and say that 4 times fast. Come on.
Oh, yeah.
It was right there.
It was right there.
It was right in my face.
The jokes right. The jokes write themselves, and Mike doesn't take it. All right, guys. So Thor, the first Thor. Where are we landing on this one?
I had a good
I-
experience with it. I really like it, but good is
I'm
still
s-
probably
yeah,
the highest I'd
I'm
go
gonna
with
say
it.
good.
Oh God, I hate you guys. This is such a mid movie.
I was honestly torn between mid as fucking good, but
Do you guys like it more or less than the Incredible Hulk?
I like it more than the Incredible Hulk.
I liked it
Or-
more than the Incredible Hulk.
Oh, you fuckers. Okay, Thor is going good. I guess.
I told you this was you guys were gonna hate some of my opinions here.
Yeah, I hate both.
I think
of you.
I think phase 1 through 3, Corey and I are going to agree most of the time.
I mean,
Well-
we're moving on to a movie that's just almost unbeatable.
Yeah.
Wait, right now?
Let's just be.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. All right, all right,
Oh,
guys.
you're
so
definitely
next
getting
up-
outvoted on this one.
Yeah, I should already put it on the tier list wherever the fuck you guys want it. Captain America: The First Avenger. So this is the introduction of our last Avenger, right? We've met everybody else.
Last
Last
of the
main
original
Avenger.
6, yes.
Yeah. So the introduction.
He's
of our
actually the
last-
first Avenger.
What?
Adrian, you just read the title.
Mike, nicely done. Now you found the joke.
I do it.
Redeemed
sometimes.
yourself.
I always recover.
I could almost say that too tongue twisty. I don't use it for that.
Whoa. This is
Dude,
this is
dumb.
the PG.
That-
This is a
that got-
PG-13 chat room. Calm the fuck down.
Tim,
That
what do
got
you
a
use?
little
What do you
too
use it
real.
for? All right, guys. So explain yourselves. Why is this
Tim,
movie amazing?
Tell us what you use your tongue for and give us $5. You know?
Yeah, God damn it. Tim, listen. Here,
20
I'll make
bucks
you a
is 20
deal.
bucks.
Tim, I'll make you a deal. You don't even have to do the tongue thing. Just give us $5.
We'll let you out of the tongue thing for $5.
For $5.
Oh,
Do not
wow.
pass go. Do not collect $200.
He has the first cap at B.
So what? That's SAB. Okay, Tim, you're a little more on my line. Maybe, yeah, B. Okay, guys. So I'll let you guys talk about this one a little bit. I liked it.
I'm going
It
to
took
tell
me a
you
long
why.
time. I don't know why I skipped out on this movie for a while. I didn't watch this Captain America movie till after Civil War. So like I didn't really know his origin. I didn't know Red Skull so well. I liked it. It's a good militaristic type movie, a good relationship with him and Bucky. Bucky always having his back, even when he was the puny little guy. I do love Captain America as a character.
See, I'm going to be honest with you. The Boy Scout characters always bore the fuck out of me.
Like Captain.
Like Captain America and Superman. Like we know the only Superman thing I really love is Smallville. But with that, I'm not even going to really go into that. But
yeah, please
as
don't.
far as Captain America goes, as far as Captain America goes, like I had zero interest, honestly, to watch this movie when it first came out. I think it took me a little bit to get to it, like you. I not quite to the same degree because I watched it obviously before Winter Soldier and Civil War.
Yeah.
But as a person who's a big fan of military movies, I actually did enjoy this a lot. So that kind of helped me get through it. I do like movies that take place a little bit more in the past. Like I kind of like old timey movies. I just watched one last night that took place in a beautiful time period, and I love it.
Mhm.
We'll get to that eventually. But as for I don't know. What's his name? Can't think of who played Red Skull in this movie because he didn't return. Obviously,
Hugo Weaving.
Hugo Weaving. Thank you. Hugo Weaving, absolutely amazing actor in just about everything that he's in, and he crushed it as Red Skull. The action sequences in this movie were fantastic. Personally, for me, I don't know. It compared to the rest of the MCU movies that came out before it, I thought it was far more. I thought it was betterly. Wow, I cannot speak.
Yeah,
I thought it was. Yeah, I thought it was very well executed. Not saying that the other ones weren't, but I think it. I think it was a little bit better.
Now, to me, why this movie is so high on the list is because this is the first and still probably the most comic book accurate movie they made. Fair. This was very ripped off the pages of Captain America. And as a comic book fan, that's very exciting. They even went so far in this movie as to have him punch Hitler. Yeah. Like he does that fake stage show where he punches Hitler. And there's a very famous comic from the 40s where Captain America goes to Germany and punches Hitler in the face.
Oh, really?
Yes. It's very, very famous to comic book fans. So they literally tore stuff from the pages for this. All those characters, the captain's men that he goes and rescues, Bucky falling from the train, even though in the comics he fell out of a helicopter. But the origin story of Bucky was still
Bucky's dead forever. Can you believe it?
I know. He's never coming back.
Nope.
Never to return.
Goodbye, Bucky Bones.
Corey got that reference. Not many people would, but there's probably like one other person in the world's like, that thing. But there's a few moments that really get me. I love when Cap jumps on or what he thinks is a live grenade. Really touching moment to save all the other soldiers. I think the plane at the end, one of the better like end sequences of the early phases of the MCU. I really like the plane.
Mike's real professional eating on camera.
We're
not just recording audio, Dick.
Yeah. So I like the plane sequence. Again, that's a thing that Dial of Destiny. They did something very similar with the plane and the time travel, but it wasn't executed nearly as well.
The new Indiana Jones movie.
Yeah. There's time travel aspect. There's a big plane sequence at the end, but this one's much better done. And also, kudos to Captain America for doing the right things, going to punch Hitler instead of Marty McFly and Doc Brown just being selfish.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, for real.
They could have changed history. And
That was something else I wanted to talk about. Is like Tommy Lee Jones in this movie was phenomenal.
yeah,
As opposed to another movie that we kind of hated him in.
yeah, not as good as Two-Face, but
Yeah. No, most of the time Tommy Lee Jones crushes it, and I think this movie is definitely more in his wheelhouse, and he was great. Excuse me, but
see, Tommy Lee Jones always knew he wanted to do a superhero movie. He picked the wrong one the first time.
I can't believe that Tommy Lee Jones is one of those few actors that has been in both Marvel and DC.
Yeah, that's wild.
Of all people, one of them is Tommy Lee Jones.
That's true. I didn't think about that.
All right, so boom. What are we thinking? You guys like it a little more than I do. I still wouldn't put it anywhere below mid. I might even say low good. What do you guys think?
See, for me, it's God, so you're gonna have to go
It's
average.
God tier.
And I would say great.
Oh my god. I would say mid then to help lower it a little bit. So where does that fall if we have an S, an A, and a C? The average is either an A or a B. I'm just gonna put it great because we don't have anything there yet. I'll give it to you guys.
Put it great, and the average means it's gonna stay at the bottom of great.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
what
fair.
I was gonna say.
Oh boys, we have a big one next. Before
this is obvious what it's gonna be for me.
Yeah.
And then they do my boy dirty in this one.
Before every movie, before this was a regular thing, people didn't think they would ever see, like, nerdy kids grew up and they never in their wildest dreams thought they would see on screen Iron Man fighting with Captain America, fighting with the Hulk, fighting with Hawkeye. It blew people's live action. It blew people's minds. It really did.
Absolutely.
It was like nothing we've ever seen. Just the fact that you're seeing these characters one after another, like, oh yeah, shit, they're going to be in this movie. Oh shit, they're going to be in this movie.
I was working with a good friend of mine, and if he watches this, he's going to remember what I'm talking about. But we were working nights at the time. Adrian also worked with us. When this trailer came out, it debuted while we were at work at midnight. We didn't do any work for the next hour. We watched it about 20 times and talked about it the whole time. We were so excited for this movie to come out.
Hell yeah. Wait, let me see where I left off. She said she's not copying. Phone call. How dare you take a phone call, Celine? What would I miss? A bunch of bullshit. Mike said something about Smallville. I don't remember, honestly. Corey and
Mike either
like
talked
Captain
about
America.
Smallville or Michael Rosenbaum or something like that.
They're Deadpool. Mike and Corey love Captain America way more than I do, and you're about caught up. So yeah, the Avengers, unbelievable. What a collaboration. There are a million ways that this could have felt overstuffed or felt like some people didn't get proper screen time, which Mike, maybe you feel that way?
I do. I do.
You said they did my boy dirty?
Well,
so you talking about Hawkeye?
Not necessarily that he didn't get enough screen time. I just think it's kind of crap that he was one of the ones that they fucking brainwashed and was on Loki's side the entire time. But he does come back and starts kicking some ass in New York. So
yeah, I would say his character's redeemed with that New York with the end.
But I see what you mean. He literally has the most important thing that happened in that fight. He got Loki off his rider.
Yeah.
So I mean,
true.
I love that little conversation that him and Natasha have, and she's like, "It reminds me of Budapest," and he's like, "You and I remember Budapest way differently," or something like that.
yeah, that's great. A big thing in this movie, and something that will continue in the series, is you kind of have these clash of egos with Iron Man and Captain America.
Yeah,
I love their back and forth in this movie so much. Steve Rogers, though, quickly learns you don't try to match wits with Iron Man because you're going to lose. Robert Downey Jr. he is so good. And I imagine, Corey, you can correct me if I'm wrong, because I don't know the comic lore, but I imagine he's very close to the Tony Stark in the comics. He is so good at just commanding a conversation.
There is absolutely not a better person they could have got to play Tony Stark. He's perfect.
Yeah, anybody he talks to, and there are people you meet like this in real life, like real Robert Downey Jr., there are just people that are so good at it. Like they command everybody's attention in the conversation. They have this confidence, this aura about them that you just like want to keep listening to them. And Robert Downey Jr., like I could just listen to him talk for 5 hours.
Well, in the comics, Tony Stark's a lot like a little more arrogant version of Batman, like Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
He
Yeah,
always is the smartest person in the room. He always has the next step, what you should do. He's always ahead of the game, but he's arrogant and sometimes it gets in his way.
Yeah, guys, this is unbelievable. Again, Celine A. First Avengers, Tim, I have A tier. And Tim says, was waiting fierce to see if we'd say the same. Wow. Also, where's Josie? He should be watching this at work and talking.
Yeah, what the fuck, Josie?
Yeah, Tim, you get it. Will we have a different rank? Dramatic voice. Find out next time. Bad and
Culture Shock Live. Nice.
Yeah, we can clip out. We can clip out.
Man, everybody's synced up today.
We can.
Mike Menzies.
Menzies. And in the that's like The Office. The black is the line of command. What's pink? Menstrual cycles. Well, and in the edit, I'm going to sync those up, and whoever did a better on the next, I'm keeping it, and one of you is getting cut.
Okay, that's fine.
I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, but the Avengers, man. What else can you say about it? I just love Tony's rapport with everybody. I love his energy with Cap. I love when he meets Bruce Banner, and Bruce is like, fucking, he's on Tony's level, and Tony's like, finally, someone. He shakes his hand.
Finally, someone who speaks English, and Captain America says, "Is that what just happened?"
Yeah, I love that. I love that first like introduction. Like they capture Loki, and then when Thor shows up, and he's getting all worried, and they're like, "What? You don't like a little bit of thunder?" He's like, "I'm not too fond of what comes after."
Yes, that is a great line. I'm just not too fond of what comes after. Yeah, great scene too. Loki, bow to me. I love that guy stands up, not to a man like you. Good for you, old man. That takes some balls.
Men like me. There are always men like you.
Yep. God, I love Tom Hiddleston.
He honestly, I can't imagine anybody else playing that role now.
No, that it would just piss me off.
Yeah, isn't it crazy how Loki's kind of a shitty person, but he's like one of the most loved characters in the MCU.
Well, he keeps going back and forth, guys. Loki's just seriously misunderstood.
It's because Tom Hiddleston is HAWT hot.
He's hot.
No, he's hot with 2 T's.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah, because Loki always does enough. He builds up. He's gonna fuck around at some point. He's gonna betray Thor, but he just does enough that he starts earning your love again, and then he fucks up, and you're like, God damn it, Loki! And then he builds up your trust again.
Yeah, like in Ragnarok, he actually does end up helping at the end.
Yeah,
but you're right. He's always a back and forth.
He also helps in part of the Dark World in the end, but then he pulls another twist. Okay, so guys, the Avengers. I mean, do we have to talk about it?
I mean,
like,
it's
as far as
God
ranking.
Yeah,
it's over Iron Man.
Yeah, it's God tier.
It's number 1 right now. Speaking of Iron Man, guys, we're back. Iron Man 3, the Shane Black special. So this was obviously first movie post Avengers.
Yep.
Kind of wrapping up the Iron Man trilogy. At this point, there was a lot of speculation if Robert Downey Jr. would even be back. There was rumors that this could be his last movie. He might not sign.
I think the PTSD in this movie is actually relatively also was just Robert Downey Jr. being like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Honestly, this movie unfortunately got a lot of hate, I think, when it first came out. It wasn't well received by a lot of people. And me being one of them, it wasn't well received by me either. And
no, I hated it first.
This was one of those movies the critics liked a lot more than fans.
Yeah, and like I said, as I've gotten older, done this podcast now for 2 years, and just a lot of different things combining in my life. Like the many times I've watched it, you guys are right. Like the more you watch it, the better it gets every time. Yeah. And it's just that you understand so much more about it, and the whole PTSD thing. Yeah, just like as Iron Man, you're not the superhuman person. You could fucking go through all that shit. You flew up into a wormhole with a goddamn nuke, pretty much.
Yeah.
Of course you're gonna have fucking PTSD.
Yeah, this was kind of like the where the Iron Man is Corey. You already made the parallel to Bruce Wayne kind of Batman.
Yeah.
And it's kind of funny because like Bruce Wayne gets his trauma, which causes him to be a hero, and Iron Man kind of gets his trauma after he becomes a hero. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
That's because Tony only made weapons of mass destruction before, but once he became Iron Man, he not only experienced them firsthand, but he kind of was one.
he was.
Yeah.
So it kind of fucks you up as a normal person.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite things about the Iron Man movie is just him realizing, him seeing all the hurt that his weapons have caused. So I like that. But this third one definitely is the most. It's the most dependent on the character of Tony. Like he
Yeah.
doesn't have his suits in most of this movie. It's just like it's kind of what it's how he started. Like you get to see his brain at work. Like he doesn't have all these fancy gadgets to protect him. He has to infiltrate. He has to take down people with his mind. Like you have moments where he has the one glove and the one boot. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, this movie, while I still really like it, it really made me mad on one specific thing that still kind of makes me mad. In the comics, the Mandarin is an awesome villain.
Yeah.
They really fucked
This-
up.
Leader of the
This was-
10 Rings, all kinds of powers. And they made it an actor, Trevor Slattery. And when they put out the trailers and said it was going to be Sir Ken Kingsley being the Mandarin, which didn't really fit because the Mandarin was always like a very ancient Chinese looking man with a long beard. And
Yeah.
I thought there were better casting choices, but I love Ben Kingsley. So I was like, you know what? I can let that slide. And then when
Right.
it came out that not only was Ben Kingsley a fake actor named Trevor Slattery, who's a bumbling idiot,
He was.
but the actual villain is Killian the whole time, who's creating the serum to turn people into lava monsters. I hated it.
Yeah, he's not great.
No, and I
then-
still
and then-
hate
Lava
And-
monsters.
and-
That's the game my kids play.
Lava
Is
Monsters.
that a real game?
It's free right now on iOS.
No, like when they're playing outside and shit.
Oh, Lava Monsters. Yeah, that's what we all played because we were poor as kids. The floor is lava.
The floor is
Yeah.
lava.
Yeah, he's not great. His fucking cringy line at the end still sticks with me, like his delivery of "I am the Mandarin." Like I hate that so much.
No, you're not.
The thing that really worked.
He's a little orange.
The thing that really
Well.
worked for me in the movie, aside from just getting to know Tony more, seeing his brain at work, the PTSD elements. First of all, real dumb fucking decision to give the terrorist your address.
Yeah,
That was a real bad idea. I see what he was saying, like "come find me," but
and
you
it
have
blew
you have a
up in his
girlfriend,
face
you-
real quick.
You have your
No.
girlfriend there. You have Rebecca Hall, who was kind of underutilized in this movie, come to think
Very.
about it. But the thing that really worked for me was his relationship with the kid. The kid was awesome in this movie.
Yes.
Yes, it
And
was.
he was never heard from again, which is kind of disappointing.
Well,
not
he
not
was
true.
seen one more time.
was he in the end
he was
game?
in it.
Was that him?
Yeah,
He's at the
Yeah.
funeral. Yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
I didn't really I guess I didn't ever notice that.
But the way that Tony just talks to this kid like a full-grown adult, like the line that always sticks with me is his dad. My dad went to 7-Eleven 6 years ago to buy lottery tickets, and he must have won because he hasn't come back yet. Well, yeah, dad's leave. No need to be a pussy about it. Wait, he said, which happens? Dad's leave. Hey, Tony, I get your pain.
I
Wow.
Daddy, daddy.
Guys, I know you're not going to believe this, but Celine says, "Hey, can you guess what Tim said?"
Hey.
This is fucking creepy. I'm gonna have to have you guys post on separate channels, so I know you're not cheating. Oh, okay. Tim says I'll post his rank on Discord later. Okay. All right, guys. So Iron Man 3. I've always thought it was better than the second one. I never understood why people rank the second one higher. So I've always kind of been in this camp. But like I said, it does get a little better for me each subsequent watch. So I'm an Iron Man 3 fan. For me,
Can
I would
you-
say it's probably.
Can you lower Iron Man 2 to Puny God? Can we agree on that?
Where'd you have it, Mike? Mid?
I think I put it mid as fuck.
you had two mids and I had goods. That's why
Oh, okay.
Uh,
Well, all right. If you think it's good, all right, never mind.
I'm fine.
I
We
was
can
just
move it down. You want to move Iron Man 3 to mid?
because for me, Iron Man 3 is mid. Because there is stuff
For-
to love about it, but the stuff that pisses me off really pisses me
Really
off.
pisses you off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say I don't like it as much. Man, I hate that fucking Thor placement. I would say I don't like Iron Man 3 as much as probably the Incredible Hulk. Or maybe I do, right? It's probably right in line. I would have it above Thor, but mid AF is fine with me. Mike, where would you put it?
I would have put it at good. So yeah, that's
I would probably fight for good as well.
That's fine.
Okay, we're gonna do we want to keep Iron Man 2 down here?
Yep, I do.
all right.
Now, the more I think about it, yeah.
We'll compromise. If me and Mike can put this one at good, we'll let you keep that one at puny god.
Okay.
Mike,
That works for me.
Mike, Iron Man 3 or the Incredible Hulk? What would you rather watch?
Well, for me, it's Iron Man 3, but
Corey, what would you rather watch? Hulk?
I'd rather watch Hulk.
All right, we'll keep it at Hulk. Okay, so this is our list.
I'm good with it. I'm good with where it's at.
All right, guys. So here's one that lives in infamy. You know what's coming next? The second part of Phase 2, Thor: The Dark World.
Listen, I'm just gonna walk away. You guys talk about it. You already know how I feel.
Here's the thing. This is one of the ones I rewatched for this list. I don't think I hate it as much as I used to. I don't think it's any worse than the first Thor at all. There's more action in it. There's more Loki. There's more Thor and Loki fighting together. The villain is weak as hell. I'll give you that. The Dark Elves are weak as hell. Again, Jane is heavily involved. There's a fucking MacGuffin, something inside of her the Dark Elves need to make so the world's in darkness. It's lame. But there's more focus on the Asgard than there's the Earth elements. I love the conflict between Thor and Odin. Odin wants the war to take place in Asgard. Thor wants to keep them out of it. He wants to go to the Dark World. I hate I hate the Earth shit. And now Kat Dennings, who was the comic relief, she has comic relief for her comic relief with that Ian character who sucks. But I don't think this is any worse than Thor. I would put them side by side.
Now, here's what I'm gonna say. I actually kind of agree with everything you just said, but it's even lower for me because everything they took from the comics for this movie straight messed it up. Okay. Malekith was a really cool character in the comics.
And he was lame as hell in this movie.
And he was so bad in the movie.
But I don't hold that too much against the movie.
When they announced Malekith, I was very happy because he's a cool character and the whole Dark World part of it is cool.
Yeah.
And they just understand the whole thing up.
The people watching now probably know because they know us, but anyone that's watching, I'm not into the comics whatsoever. So a lot of this shit happens and it really bothers Corey or Mike, maybe with certain comics that he knows about. I don't know shit about it. So all I have to go on is the movies. Malekith was lame, but it didn't piss me off because I don't know the character. And Marvel hasn't done a great job to this point of good villains. So it didn't feel any different to me
Loki.
besides Loki.
Yeah, I was going to say Loki was the villain of Avengers, so.
We have a difference. Hold up. Tim has a C for Dark World. Celine has a B.
Oh, shit.
Okay. We have a difference. She said, oh my God, different.
She said, I almost did say C, though.
Celine, stick with B.
Stick to your guns. Yes.
Mike, first of all, let me ask you, how long has it been since you watched this movie? And the thing I think this movie suffers from, I don't think it's bad as a horrible movie. I think it's just forgettable. Like, I've watched this movie a couple times, and I can't tell you what it's really about.
I think the last time I watched it was a brief period where I was unemployed. So 2020.
What a loser.
I think I watched it back in 2020. I decided I was going to do an entire watch through of the MCU in chronological order, not
Brave
release
man.
order, but chronological order. And it was forgettable. It was boring. I hated it. There's very little I enjoyed about it. I think at one point I almost fell asleep, and then I stopped paying attention to the movie itself.
Which weird to me, because to me that's more. It might not be good, but to me it's more entertaining than the first Thor.
And normally I like a lot of darker movies when it comes to comic books, but this one the jokes weren't really there for me. And
Yeah,
One of the things I loved about the first one is that it was funny on top of
it was.
what else
Yeah.
was going on.
There is humor here. It does feel a little more forced to me. This feels like the jokes don't land as well as the first one. They still try. To me, it just doesn't work as well. But I also
Mike-
love Loki's. Okay.
Mike was just really mad that Hawkeye wasn't in this one.
It's true.
Yeah.
He was in the first one, and then Hawkeye wasn't in this one, so I said, "Fuck this movie."
I don't see Ryan Reynolds anywhere.
Not yet.
Mikey's in there. He's in the background though.
Oh,
Yeah, another thing I actually liked about the Dark World is you actually see how much Loki cares for his mom. That's not his mom.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah.
You see how much her death really impacts him. It's really cool, the sequence of her fighting where you can see Loki took his whole fighting style from her. He learned like the teleportation and the fake outs from her. You see how much it affects him. I like the plan that him and Thor put together where it looks like he betrays Thor. That's
Yeah.
really well done. And by the way,
Yeah.
did you guys know in every movie of Phase 2, somebody loses a hand or arm in reference to Empire
Yeah.
Strikes Back?
Oh my god.
They just put it in there for no reason. They're like, why? Like, because it's cool.
It's literally just a fan Easter egg.
Every movie in Phase 2, somebody loses a hand. Tim says, my dad, also named Michael, ironically, is the biggest comic nerd I know. That's awesome. And I say nerd with affection because same. Because honestly, same. So Mike, I mean, hey, stand to your
Fucking
convictions, man. I
nerds.
still don't think this.
I just
I still don't
can't.
think this is a good movie. Mike, is this to you? Is this a why was this made?
I skip this movie every fucking time I do a watch through. Yeah, this is
Yeah.
a why was this made for
Bottom
me?
for me.
At best, oh, is this a why was this made, Corey?
Oh yeah.
At best,
There's
I
not
would
enough
give
to hold
this- Okay, I'll put it in there because I would probably give it the top of puny. So yeah, why was this made? And I'm fine with it. But I do think on another rewatch, I liked it a little more than I used to think it was like a 1 out of 10, and it's not that.
It's been a couple years since I saw it. I'd watch it again just to see if I did change, but I don't know.
And if I'm defending
what?
an MCU movie, like give it another watch.
Let's just watch it. We'll do a commentary together on it, guys. Let's see what happens.
You know what I think happened? I think yeah. I think more than anything, this kind of suffered from oh god.
What are you doing?
I'm highlighting me.
Why would you do that?
Guys, I forgot my hotkeys. I think more than anything, Iron Man 3, because it was kind of maligned, and Thor the Dark World kind of suffered from being the first movie since the Avengers. It didn't live up to that same quality, and they got roasted at the time of release. I think people have lightened up on both of them, more so on Iron Man 3. But I don't think Thor Dark World is the worst movie like I used to.
Yeah. I mean, I might change a little bit.
Now let's move on to a great movie. And that is, not to sound biased right from the beginning or anything. Come on, hotkeys, don't fail me now, baby. Come on, hotkeys. Not that one. Okay. So, guys, we are on Captain America, the Winter Soldier, the second of the Captain America trilogy.
Yeah.
And, I mean, what can you fucking say about it? It's dark.
This movie, it's still in my top 5 of all Marvel movies. So
it's Marvel's take on a spy thriller noir. It's this weird shit that Marvel does sometimes. I love when they experiment like this with new genres.
Yeah.
Because Marvel up to this point, obviously it's had a shit ton of action, but it's had like what we've come to know as your traditional superhero action sequences. This movie feels like if Marvel made like a Mission Impossible or something along those lines, or an Austin Powers. Well, no, let's go with Mission Impossible. Yeah, so I love the fight sequences. I love the character work here between Cap and Bucky.
Whoa,
by the way,
wait. I thought you said Bucky was never going to return.
I'm sorry, I'm in the
Oh my
Winter
God,
Soldier.
he did say that.
Yeah.
Which,
how
by the
dare you.
way, how the fuck does Cap not know that's Bucky?
Well, because he's got long hair and it's just his eyes. He's got the mask covering of his mouth.
He's got the thing.
And he doesn't say any words.
Yeah, that's true.
Listen, sometimes you look at somebody with long hair and you don't recognize them.
Whoa, Tim. Is that Mike? Is that why you're making the big eyes?
That was why I was making that face. Is Winter Soldier a B?
A B. Tim, justify yourself. Oh, he said right here.
Oh, because he's not a huge Cap fan. Okay.
Okay. Okay, so Tim hates the MCU. Confirmed.
I don't no
Tim, give
longer
me
consider
$5.
you. I no longer consider you an affectionate nerd.
An affectionate nerd.
I'm
You didn't agree.
using that in a derogatory sense.
Don't you love that we're doing the thing that we hate is like gatekeeping fandom? Wait, you
How
don't feel
dare
how
you?
I feel? You're not a real fan.
This is
No,
my page, and I'll do what I want with it.
For me, honestly, like I'm not a huge Cap fan.
Settlement, and I need. Oh, sorry.
I'm not a huge Cap fan either, but like just like he's kind of on the outs, and he's trying to like him and Natasha are working together.
Yeah, you
and
have
they
the
have to-
reveal of Shield and Hydra.
Yep.
You have the fucking elevator scene, which is
Yeah.
probably still the most iconic, one of the most iconic. Marvel
It's
moments.
also one of the most used meme scenes
It
now.
is. So before we begin, does anyone want to get out?
I love that.
I love that so much. Yeah, I just think everything about, and also this is the introduction of the Russos.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
I think everything about this movie is just kind of like a cut above most MCU movies up to this point. The production quality, the action, the characters, the back and forth between Cap and Buck or Winter Soldier. No spoilers.
How dare you?
How dare you, guys? Bucky's dead.
I mean,
Bucky
he
not
learns,
bad.
he
is
learns it's
alive.
Bucky pretty quick in the movie.
yeah. So,
To me, honestly, like the two Captain America movies, the first two, feel so much different than the rest of the MCU, and
yeah.
it is kind of a breath of fresh air. I'm not saying anything wrong with the first three phases of the MCU. Just it's nice to have a little difference in there, because it
Nothing
doesn't.
wrong with it.
I didn't say there was.
Yeah.
Zero.
and to my point, speaking of Marvel experimenting, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't for me. The next movie is also a big, huge swing that Marvel took, and I fucking loved it. I think we all loved it, but we'll talk about that.
That final fight scene at the end was like just amazing. And then you would think in a typical Marvel movie, or maybe not in a typical Marvel movie, but in a typical like movie like this, at the end they were best friends and these two good guys, like they were fighting each other, and then suddenly you would think that they would get together and be like, "Oh, we're friends again. Thank you so much." No, that doesn't happen. Like
Right.
Bucky kind of comes around to the idea that okay, there's more to there's more to my backstory, and I need to figure out why I forgot all of this shit. So
Yeah.
he kind of decides to stop fighting Cap, but he doesn't just automatically be like, "Yay, we're best friends."
Right.
And I like that. I like that a lot. I like that they didn't take the feel good route,
Absolutely. And also, Nick Fury dies in this movie, and he's gone forever. So
Another one that's gone forever.
another one gone forever.
The
Never
one
to be sad.
there was one moment of symbolism that really bothered me that it didn't come back. Is
What was
well, it kind of came back, but it didn't go the direction everybody thought it was going to go. In the comics, for a little while, Bucky did take over the Captain America mantle,
Yeah.
and when he's fighting him at one point, he throws his shield at him. No, he blocks with it, but Bucky grabs it and then kicks him away, and then he has it. He stands there with it for a good 3 seconds.
Yeah,
The
I
camera
like that.
lingers
Yeah.
on him holding it for like 3 seconds.
Yeah.
And when I left theaters, I was like, hell yeah, confirmed Bucky's eventually going to be Captain America. And then they just went that other route.
Which I mean,
Yeah.
Falcon becomes Captain America at one point in the comics too, right? So
yes, he currently is a Captain America, I think. But I was fine with Sam getting it. That is not the problem.
Right.
It's the fact that they kind of gave us Bucky, like symbolism towards Bucky being that for a little bit.
maybe
And I
that's
was
what they
really
did. That
excited about it.
maybe they did that to be like, yeah, here, this is for you guys that want to see this happen, but it's not actually going to happen.
I
only
think they
problem
actually
with,
intended for that to happen in the first place, but they changed their minds.
My only problem with Sam, and I just want to say it now in case we forget to talk about it in Endgame,
On your left,
is that like, yeah, what the fuck's up with on your left? No. Why couldn't he be on his right?
I wasn't really that upset about that.
I love that. He's like, wow, that's a fucking nitpick.
Yeah.
I do love that though. He's Cap's running. Don't say it on your left. Yeah, but my only problem with Sam is he's just a dude. Like, he doesn't have super serum.
no,
Like, he could get shot once and he's dead. And it's like, oh.
He's just a dude playing another dude.
Playing another dude. Yeah, Robert Downey Jr.
I love when he tells him to listen to the Marvin Gaye album, and he pulls out that list to write it down. And did you notice Star Wars was written on there?
Oh, was it?
Star
Yeah.
Wars must have tripped him when he saw fucking Nick Fury as Mace
Oh
Windu.
yeah, that is weird,
He must have tripped the
hold
fuck
up.
out.
motherfucker. All right, well, so this one, Winter
Oh,
Soldier.
and one more little thing I want to say before we move on
Oh
from
yeah,
this.
get it out.
There is a Easter egg at the end of the movie on Nick Fury's gravestone where he's
Yeah.
supposedly dead, and it is the Ezekiel quote from Pulp Fiction.
Is it really?
Ah,
Yes,
yeah,
it
yeah.
is.
And then it just says, English, motherfucker, do you speak it?
Exactly.
All right, guys. Are we in agreement, God tier?
For me, it's God tier, and
It is my absolute favorite Marvel movie. So
out of
I'll
the
let you
movies we
guys-
have so far on there, it's definitely above both the Avengers and Iron Man.
Corey, is it your number one movie up to this point or ever?
No, it's literally my. Oh, you mean no Marvel movie? It's still my favorite Marvel movie of all time.
Okay. Mike, you said it would be number one for you as well.
Yep.
Oh, that's hard between that and Avengers. Yeah, we'll put it at number one. I'm fine with that. I love it. It's a coin flip for me between that and the first Avengers.
And again, they accurately tore stuff out of the comics. They do a good job in the Captain America movies.
Yeah.
Now
and
in four movies is when we're gonna really all disagree.
But let's talk about the next movie. Guys, quick fun fact too for our listeners as well. I forgot to say about Iron Man 3. Did you know that Jenna Ortega is in that movie
Wow.
Really?
as a little girl? Jenna Ortega's in the
did not know
MCU. Yeah,
I
I
didn't know
watched it
that.
the last time. I'm like, that's Wednesday.
Did you know that Tom Holland is in the first Iron Man? Or no, it's the second Iron Man.
Yeah,
Oh.
Tony saves him.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
No
canon
shit.
it's canon that
It's
that
not
little
actually
kid
Tom Holland, the actor, but
No, yeah,
the
it's
little kid
canon
wearing
that
the
that kid
Iron Man mask is supposed
that's
to be
Spider-Man.
Peter Parker.
Yeah. All right, guys. So the next one on the list. Here it is. Something fresh, something new, something that I think when people saw the initial trailers, they're like, "What the fuck is Marvel doing?" And we got Guardians of the Galaxy.
I
my
definitely when I saw this trailer and everything and heard what they were doing, I literally was like, "What the fuck?"
I was like, "Okay, a talking tree, a talking raccoon." No,
I had zero interest. I had less interest to watch this than I did Captain America for the first Avenger.
yeah,
And it took me too long to watch this movie, and when I finally did, I was blown away. I was like, "This fucking was amazing!" Like, it blew all of my expectations out of the water because I thought it was going to be something I just didn't give a shit for.
Yeah.
And some of the characters in this movie ended up becoming some of my favorites in the MCU.
absolutely.
I absolutely had. I won't agree with zero interest because it was Marvel. I obviously was going to see this.
Yeah.
But I did go into this thinking, who the hell are these guys? I didn't know anything about the Guardians.
I
of
was
the
going to
Galaxy.
ask you, like, comic lore. Did you know these characters? Are they?
I did not.
Yeah,
There's
they
actually-
exist.
There's actually I knew they existed because they crossed over with other stuff I've read, but
Right.
I never went and read, and it wasn't even the characters that were in this movie that crossed over with like
Wait.
it was Yondu, and
Yeah.
it was other characters that were actually the first Guardians that I've knew. So when they announced the list, the only one I knew was Groot
Yes.
and Rocket.
I love
I knew
you
Rocket
guys.
but that
Because
is
I'm a
not me.
freaking
1 through
guardian
3.
of the galaxy. Yeah, I was blown away by this movie. Like,
Yes.
just
There's a
everything
lot of-
about it was so original. Obviously, the Guardian movies own the MCU as far as soundtracks. can't
For
compete with them.
100%.
Goddamn Peter
And-
Quill and his Zune.
And fucking yeah, he got the best of the equipment on earth.
He did.
I love that Chris Pratt worked out like an absolute maniac just for that one scene where his shirt is off.
Yeah.
He talked about it in an interview. He said, "I've always been known as being the chubby, like funny guy, but now I'm a Marvel hero, and I kind of wanted to work out, so I just busted my ass."
Yeah.
I mean,
He
if
should have
if
asked.
anybody's ever watched Parks and Rec, they know that
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a chubby guy.
Yeah, he's a little chubby. Yeah.
Yeah. They should have had fat Quill before they had fat Thor. I'm not
But I mean,
50.
let's just talk the very opening scene
I don't
of this
know.
movie. We don't have to. Obviously, we want to get through these movies, and so we don't want to go too in depth with them. We have
Yeah.
episodes for that.
Right.
But the very first opening scene of this movie just really gave you everything you were going to be in for. And I was hooked. I'm like, I'm here for all of this. This is what I want. This is amazing.
Yeah.
And I am 90% sure that the dude at the beginning that's chasing after Quill, that he like escapes from, is the same guy that is in Captain Marvel.
Yeah,
Oh, really?
It's the same actor. It's the same actor, but I mean, I think it's the same character.
He is the same character.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't know that.
He works for the Kree, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is one of those. Oh shit! I'm just saying the. Okay. Yeah, but this is one of those examples of just a Marvel movie that messed with the formula, and it totally worked. It was something different. It was bizarre. It was characters I didn't think I would care about. Immediately invested in them. I love them. I love this ragtag group of people. Just great soundtrack, great action, great moments of emotion and levity. I love it.
The one guy says it best. What a bunch of a-holes.
What a bunch of
regardless of what a lot of fans are out there trying to do with the DC films and currently what's going on, these Guardians movies are the reason I have high hopes for the DC universe moving forward because of James Gunn. So it's one of those things like, if this is what we get in the DCU, because this is what you gave us with Guardians, and also not to mention the second Suicide Squad movie,
was
which
awesome.
Also I really enjoyed. Like, if this is what we get, then I think the DCU is going to be in good hands. But there's of course all those Snyder fans that are like trying really hard to make James Gunn look like a piece of shit, and I'm like, why? Well, can't we just have good stuff?
Fandoms work real hard at wanting great things, but putting down the people trying to give them the great things.
They really do.
And it's kind of pathetic, really, when you think about it. Like, if you're just more open to things, James Gunn gave us 3 of the best movies in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yeah.
And now they made him fully in charge, him and Peter Safran, made them fully in charge of the entire DCU. Give him a freaking chance.
As a huge DC fanboy, I am excited and I can't wait for shit to actually be good and accurate.
And I know my name on here. I know my name on here is Marvel is King because I do believe that, and it is my opinion. That doesn't mean I hate DC. I want their movies to be great. Every one that's been even mildly watchable, I rewatch all the time. Marvel's not the only comic book stuff I watch. I watch all of it. And DC has had a couple nuggets in there, to the point where the teaser for the second Aquaman came out yesterday, and it kind of looks fun. It looks fun like the first one was. Like, I'm actually kind of excited for it, but I really hope that people give James Gunn the chance he needs, because the chance he deserves, not needs, but because he's, I'll believe in him if this first Superman movie comes out, Legacy, and he makes me like Superman.
Right.
That's true. That's true. If I go into that, if I watch that movie and I'm like, fuck, that was a good movie, I'm sold, because I'm not a huge Superman fan.
I think Henry Cavill would be my cast.
That's a really good cast. He was really good as Geralt in the
I just thought of that.
You just thought of that? That's impressive.
And The Witcher, maybe they'll go the other route and grab Liam Hemsworth.
That would be funny. Poor Henry Cavill.
Tim says the new Suicide Squad is good. The first 2 not as much. What was the first 2?
There was only one, Tim.
There was the, what the heck's that guy's name? Who directed the first one?
David Ayers.
David Ayers, yeah.
David Ayers did the first one with the shittiest Joker that's ever been live action.
That one was just so fucking bad.
And then the second one was James Gunn.
Tim might drop some knowledge on us here in the comments. Maybe there's one we don't know about.
If you want to hear me trash talk a current comic book movie that's come out in the last 10 years, fucking just let me talk about David Ayer's Suicide Squad. I have nothing good to say about that movie.
But let's not do that because
Well, I
we're
know.
almost 2
just
hours
think
in
if you
and we're
want
not
to,
even halfway through.
no, I know. I just say we'll get to that at some point when we do episodes. I'm just saying that
Oh, yeah.
that will not be something
Yeah.
I'm forgiving on.
So the original Guardians, I love it. I would call this. God, Captain America's too high. I definitely think Guardians is better than the first Captain.
I would agree. I would put it.
Guardians is in God tier for me.
Yeah, I would even say Guardians is God tier for me.
Iron Man or Guardians?
I'd rather watch Guardians.
I mean, you're gonna hate it, Adrian, but Guardians is my second favorite Marvel movie. So
I don't think I like it. I don't like it more than the Avengers, but
then we'll keep it right below the Avengers.
I can agree on that.
Okay, guys. So speaking of Avengers, part 2.
Yeah, I guess Tim's right. He go ahead and pull that up, Adrian.
Oh wait, yeah, let's see it.
Birds of Prey is technically a continuation of that. So yeah, that was awful.
It is not. They are not the Suicide Squad. No, they are not.
But it's a continuation from that movie, though.
No, it is not. They are not put together by Amanda Waller.
Corey.
It's not a Suicide Squad movie. It just has Harley. Just has Harley Quinn in it. Nope. Die on this hill. I'm a nerd.
Right.
I'm a nerd. He said Captain America Winter Soldier was B. No, fuck it.
Two out of 3 podcasters say you're right.
Tim, congrats on being right. All right, guys. So Age of Ultron.
That's fine. You guys can pretend he's right. That's all right.
Tim, good job being right. So the Avengers Part 2, Age of Ultron. So the big news comes in. You get James Spader as Ultron.
Yeah.
You get all your,
which was kind of
liked it. Yeah.
He did a great voice of it though. I think
but it was weird.
He fucking killed it.
Ultron was not known as a quippy, funny character though. That was a little weird.
Well,
Robert
I mean,
California
it's Joss Whedon,
so
every villain has to be quippy and funny.
And was it Guardians or what movie was it? Guardians? Was it? Maybe it was Thor: The Dark World that set up Wanda and Quicksilver. I think it because there was 2
during the credits scene.
Yeah, I think there was 2 post credits for Thor. I must say Thor: Love and Thunder. I think there was 2 post credit scenes for Thor: The Dark World, and one of them set up.
It was the movie right before this. No, before
so it was Guardians.
No, before
okay, yeah,
Guardians.
so it was Thor: The Dark World.
Now,
tracking back to Aquaman, I can't get into it. No, just because of Amber Heard. Fuck her. I'm not sold on it. Sell me on it. Wait, what's he want us to sell? Oh, Aquaman.
The first Aquaman, which I have never personally seen, but I hear it's really good.
It's fun.
Yeah. Aquaman. Sorry, Tim. That's one I would have to revisit. I don't remember shit about it. Shit. Yeah, I wish I could give you more, buddy. That's one I kind of was on my phone for while it's happening.
Show our tier list.
Our tier list?
Yeah, I can't think without looking at it. Which it was
Wow, we have no movie in mid.
I cannot remember.
It's coming for me.
The post-credit scene for Thor: The Dark World is when they're giving the Collector the ether.
Oh, right.
The post-credit scene for Winter Soldier is Bucky looking at his picture.
Yeah.
The post-credit scene for Avengers
wasn't that Thanos saying, "Fine, I'll do it myself."
The post-credit scene for Winter Soldier. I already said that.
Yeah.
Thor where the hell did they show the twins?
There was one movie that had two post-credit scenes.
Yeah, it was a mid-credit scene. It wasn't a post-credit scene.
Yeah.
I think it might have been Winter Soldier.
Yeah, it was one of those. Okay, so Age of Ultron. This one did not score nearly as well as the first Avengers. People were a little bit sour on it. From an outside perspective, is there what do you guys? Did you like it? Was there stuff you didn't like about it?
It had its funny moments, which I loved. Hawkeye had one of the funniest moments for me when
what was that?
When it was his little thing with Quicksilver. When he runs away, he's like, I could do it. I could do it right now.
No,
I don't know what happened to him. Last time I saw him, he was fighting Ultron. I thought Hawkeye had one of the best speeches in the movie too, when he was telling Wanda to get her ass out there, basically.
Yeah, but then he appointed her an Avenger, and he doesn't have the right to do that. So,
I'm pretty sure you don't have the authority to do that.
Yeah. I think it's a voting thing.
I think it's was
dictatorship. how was Ultron like handled for you guys? This is one that just didn't do much for me. I don't love it. I don't hate it. It's just
I don't know a lot about Ultron in the comics. I was okay with him being the way he was.
He's more cold and mechanical, like he's supposed to be. He's
Yeah.
not quippy or funny. He's not jokey. He was way more serious in the comics, but I forgave it because it was a cool version of him.
Yeah,
But he didn't do funny like, I'm sorry, I wasn't listening to your let me explain my master plan all to when he's like saying, you know, let me I'm sorry, let me take this time to explain my master plan. He doesn't do
yeah.
stuff like that. He's not funny.
But
And then the comics, Tony Stark and Bruce Banner did not create him. Hank Pym did.
yeah, well,
Right.
we didn't get Hank Pym until a little later.
So he had Ultron had more of the arrogance of Hank Pym in the comics.
The problem,
Celine and Tim had a same opinion, so Celine changed it.
the
They're like
problem
B,
for
B,
me-
C.
the problem for me with this movie, and I think this is Adrian or not Adrian, Corey and I have butted heads on this before, is it's just too much like the first Avengers. It almost seems like a carbon copy of the movie, as
Yeah.
far as like the same setup with the villain and like, oh, what the whole city is in danger again with an army of like it's the exact same fucking thing, like
Without the villain being as good
with-
as Loki.
right. So I was like, come on, Joss, you could have done something better than that.
Did you guys like Wanda and Quicksilver?
I-
Obviously, Wanda's gone
I
on
sure
to be a actor.
I sure liked Wanda.
Yeah, I liked Wanda a lot. Quicksilver was kind of for me. I definitely prefer the Fox version of Quicksilver.
I would
a
have
lot more.
liked Aaron Taylor Johnson's Quicksilver a lot more if the other one didn't exist. If Fox's version never happened,
Evan
like
Peters
Tim's-
just fucking. I love Evan
but
Peters.
Evan
version
Peters
way
was
more.
too good as Quicksilver,
Yeah.
and that slow motion stuff that they do when he's running is just
Yeah.
mwah.
Yeah,
So there was nothing they were going to do in Avengers that made Quicksilver cooler.
I felt that the Fox movies after First Class, I thought that the X-Men movies were a lot better than the first original trilogy.
Yeah.
Up
Plus-
until the one.
Plus, in the comics, which they were able to kind of do in the X-Men movies, was Magneto's actually Wanda and
Yeah.
Petro's dad.
Oh,
Their mom hooked up with Magneto years ago
nice.
and had them, and they both got powers because of Magneto was their dad, and they had the mutant gene, but they never knew until they were adults, and then they found out. But so they kind of touched on that in Fox, but because Magneto could not be a character in Marvel at the time, they had to be test tube mutants.
Yeah. Do you think that they maybe
Mhm.
you think they'll retcon that and maybe revisit that now that Disney owns
They've-
all of Fox properties?
They've already said that she was one of the first mutated people or something like that. They've kind of done it, but I don't know that they'll ever retcon that he's their dad because of how they've already said their stuff came from a test tube. They can't take that back.
Well-
So that just happened. We just have to deal with that. But they might make Magneto important to them at some point.
Kind of
All right,
like how they couldn't use adamantium, so they had to use
Adamantium, yeah.
Yeah, they had to use vibranium instead.
Yeah.
Why does Mike always say things wrong?
Because that's just what I do. It's a character flaw. I own it.
It's I like
I
it.
own it.
It gives you more. It makes you more relatable. Character flaws. My character
I
flaws.
wouldn't
I'm bald.
understand, but
Is that a character?
that's mine too. Bald and fat. Yeah, I own
yeah,
both of those.
Tim said Ultron is B. Being said, I did enjoy it a lot. Some really good parts. Cap nudging the hammer. Yeah, that was probably one of the highlights of the movie. Definitely is that whole group scene with them at the table. I love that. I loved like the calm before the storm of them just getting to sit down for a moment and just be friends. And then
Yeah.
of course Cap budging the hammer. That look on Thor's face, like what the fuck?
I mean, that sets us up for what we see in Endgame, so that's pretty badass.
Yeah. I knew it. Okay, so yeah, Age of Ultron to me is whatever. I don't even know if I'd call. I mean, it's definitely not bad. I don't know if I would call it good or mid. What do you guys think?
I have it at good, but whatever you guys say is fine.
Because of how I feel about the whole like basically carbon copy of Avengers, I kind of consider it a mid.
Agreed.
Movie.
Nice. We have our first mid. I was
I can
just
accept
so
that
pumped to
because-
get something in mid.
I can accept that because mid to me in Marvel still means I will watch it.
I mean, I will watch it. It's not a bad movie, like Adrian said. It's
Yeah.
not a bad movie. It's just
It's mid.
yeah, it's a movie.
That's literally what the term mid means. It's there. It's not good. It's not bad. Okay, next introduction of our newest character. Weird character initially, you would think for this universe, but they got Paul Rudd, and we made
Yeah,
Ant-Man.
I was not expecting that one bit.
Mhm.
See,
But,
as a comic book nerd and animated movies nerd, I was expecting Ant-Man to eventually be in this, but not Scott Lang. It was always Hank Pym in the comics. Scott Lang is a character, but he was the way less popular Ant-Man. But because they wanted Mike Douglas for Michael Douglas for Hank Pym so
Hank
bad,
Pym,
they
which
had
makes
to
sense.
make a younger Scott Lang because he can't. There's only so much de-aging you can do.
Well, Celine, listen.
the way they
Celine, the way we talk, this is going to go on another hour. So if you have to go to sleep, go to sleep. We appreciate you. Give us
It's true.
money.
Give us money. Though honestly, I think the route they took, it worked out really well because they were able to make. Because I don't see Hank Pym being like a kind of funny character. I see him being very serious, and
He was.
You mean like
inherited
Michael
threat.
Douglas's Hank Pym
yes, yeah. Well, it's just Hank Pym as a comic book character in general.
as a character? Okay.
So I like this Scott Lang. He comes in. He's quippy. He's got he's kind of an idiot, but like he's a lovable idiot. So, which is basically every Paul Rudd character known to man,
He plays that character great.
except for in Role Models, which is one of my favorite fucking movies of his.
Yeah, the only time
but-
he's not a lovable idiot, Corey, I think, is Halloween 6.
Well, I mean,
But
he's
that's
an
a
idiot.
story for another day. He's an idiot. That's a story for another day.
He's
Why do
just
so
not
many good
lovable.
actors? Why do so many good actors get their start on schlocky horror
I
movies?
was gonna say, Johnny
Yeah.
Depp was in one of the
He was in the first
one of the
Nightmare
Freddy
Before
First
movies.
Night.
Yeah,
Kevin Bacon was in the first Friday. Jennifer Aniston was in, what was she in? Gremlins
Leprechaun.
2? What?
Well, fucking
Leprechaun, yeah.
Leprechauns. Oh
She
my
was in
god,
Leprechaun.
wasn't
Yeah.
Jason Bateman was in something really awful? I think too.
Teen
Teen
Wolf
Wolf
2.
2.
Oh yeah, that's what it was.
But yeah, this one, Ant-Man. So what did you guys think, like, overall? I thought it was a fun, like, heist. This is another different kind of Marvel movie.
For
I don't
me,
think
it was good.
it's not as effective as, like, the Guardians, as when they did something different. It's
Right.
it's mid to good for me.
It's good for me.
Well,
think
I
it's a
have
good
it
movie.
great, so that's
Good.
right in the
Somewhere
middle,
good.
good.
All right, guys. Well, let's do the 3-man test. Ant-Man or Iron Man 3?
I'd rather
Ant-Man.
watch Ant-Man.
Okay,
I'd rather watch Ant-Man over all three other ones sitting there, just so.
Okay, Mike.
Yeah,
So
me too.
okay. Oh, God, why is Thor fucking right there? I hate group tier lists.
It's fucking staying there too.
All right. Well, Mike, the stage
Fuck
is
it,
yours.
scrap the whole thing. The stage is mine.
Mike, stage is yours. Captain America: Civil War.
Oh Jesus Christ!
Why do you hate this
I
movie?
hate his problems with this. I hate his
Okay.
problems with this.
I will start with the fact that I do understand that because they did not have access to all of the characters that they needed to do this correctly,
Right.
that is why they didn't. But
Mhm.
in my opinion, they shouldn't even attempted it without the characters they needed, because it just, the movie was just, like, it was supposed to be Civil War, supposed to be them fighting each other, and let's be honest, we got 15 minutes of that at the airport, and
Right.
then I fucking Jesus Christ, I just
How many characters are involved in, like, the Civil War? A lot. Right?
Hundreds. Hundreds.
Wow,
hundreds.
really?
But like main
It's
character,
literally like a war.
yeah.
Yes,
Well,
and that's
in the
why they
comics,
couldn't do it. First of all,
this is one of my favorite Marvel comics, so this may be why it also pisses me off.
it
Um,
is it is one of my favorite Marvel
So,
lines, and I still
how-
love
how-
this movie.
How
Let
it
Mike
kind of
say his
starts.
part.
How it kind of starts is that it does start kind of similarly. The government wants them to register and reveal who they are.
The Scovia
Um,
Accords.
Yeah, except they don't call
It's
it that.
not
obviously.
called that. It's because
Oh,
a new group of mutants acts like these
Yeah.
kids who are trying to be X-Men that aren't
Yeah.
actually X-Men go and
They-
stop a home dispute. And the one guy, Atomic guy, ends up blowing up and killing
Yeah.
a busload of kids.
oh,
Yeah, they
damn.
they basically keep fucking up, and
In
Yeah,
the
so
movie,
they're-
this is the one where Black Panther's dad dies. T'Challa's dad.
yes,
I love
Yeah.
Black
No.
Panther in this movie.
Great introduction of Black Panther.
Yeah, oh yes, he does die in this one. Yeah, my bad.
Yeah, I love him in this movie.
What I'll say is like, so in the comics, how it kind of turns out is Iron Man, which is why I'm glad that Spider-Man is on his side. Iron Man convinces Spider-Man to come out publicly about who he is.
Okay.
And then it kind of falls there between, like, there's a line whether between the heroes of who wants to follow suit and who's against that idea, and it kind of blows up into this awful like civil war. And there's legitimately people fighting each other. Like all the heroes are definitely fighting each other. And
Spider-Man announces who he is in a news press conference.
Oh, damn.
His identity, but then halfway through the series switches to Captain America's side.
Yes. Now, what I also will say is, I think one of my biggest complaints is one of the set of characters that needed to be here for this movie, in my opinion, is the Fantastic Four, because Reed Richards plays a huge part of the Civil War aspect in the comics. Yeah. So I think maybe if they had the Fantastic Four.
Yeah. Is Reed Richards smarter in the comic than he is in Multiverse of Madness?
Yes. God, yes.
He doesn't give away vital information.
By the way, that dude's super dangerous. Don't kill him first. I'm smart. Sorry, go ahead, Mike.
But I think honestly, with just that alone, or if we had like the X-Men would have helped too, because Charles Xavier also is a big part of the whole Civil War aspect.
Was Professor X around more in that than he was in Multiverse of Madness? Oh, I'm dead.
But I feel like I just wish they would have done something different. They could have done this without calling it Civil War, basically. Like they could have chose a different. Maybe that's what pisses me off. Maybe that's what pisses me off. Maybe they could have just done something different. Like, and the other thing that upsets me is it's called a Captain America movie, but it's just basically another Avengers movie.
Yeah, Captain America movies sometimes feel like Avenger movies. So I think he has the strongest trilogy by far.
Oh, for 100%. Like even with all my complaints about this movie, it's not like at the bottom of my list by any means.
Wait, this would be your least favorite Captain America movie, wouldn't it?
It is my least favorite Captain America movie, yes.
Ooh.
And that's just because of my issues with what I just said.
Yeah.
With that being said, I love a lot of this movie. I love the little quips, like the back and forth is always good. The fight scene between Iron Man, Bucky, and Captain America that's one of the best fight scenes in the MCU, I think.
That whole element of the movie, because I was worried about Civil War going in that it wouldn't really have stakes because like they're all kind of friends. But Rhodey getting shot out of the air, that was really well handled. And the Captain versus really fucking good.
Plus, I do love the end credit scene where
and this is my favorite. This is probably my favorite performance of T'Challa. This is probably my favorite Black Panther out of all the movies he's in.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know. I love Black Panther as a movie in general.
I do too.
We'll get there. I mean, one of my favorite end credit scenes is where Stan Lee drops that thing off, and Rhodey's like, Tony Stank.
Yeah. This is Tony Stank. All right, Corey, go.
Explain why it is. Civil
why
War?
Is Mike wrong?
I didn't say he was wrong. I mean, he's right about a lot of the characters that need to be there. He's wrong about the fact that they needed something to break up the Avengers. The only storyline that everybody knows, nerds know around the world, is Civil War, and they had everybody there to make Civil War happen. It was perfectly fine the way it was handled. There just wasn't as many characters as there needed to be, and the tipping point that actually made them all realize they were getting out of hand was that Goliath, who is this big he's kind of in the second Ant-Man movie. He's played by Lawrence Fishburne. He talks about how I grew to 26 feet one time, and he's like, that's Goliath. And in the comics, they're fighting, and the one guy, I think it's like a clone of Thor or a mechanical Thor. I can't remember which of the two. It's one of those two things. I'm flies up and kills Goliath on the field. They're not trying to kill each other. Yeah. They're just fighting over this thing. And
so
he
dies. Goes too far.
He goes too far and he dies in the thing. And then Thor kills that Thor because it's
Yep.
just a copy.
Yeah.
And then they all realized they went overboard and they need
Yeah.
to come to an agreement. But like,
Shocking, the character that goes overboard and kills somebody isn't Frank Castle.
Frank Castle's in Civil War a lot, helping in the background.
Yeah.
You find out he's actually been protecting all of them on both sides.
Yeah, I love that.
Frank Castle's not a bad guy. He's just willing to kill.
Yep.
So the Avengers won't work with him.
No, this is good. I knew Civil War would bring up some discussion.
Yeah.
As for me,
And-
again, non-comic guy.
yes.
I liked it a
Yes.
lot.
Reed Richards in the comics creates the prison to keep people that are not cooperating.
Yep.
He creates like a portal to a different universe altogether that keeps these people from getting in the way of the Accords, we'll call it, because I don't remember what it's called.
I
in the
can't remember. I
comics,
can't remember
but
what it's called in the comics either.
It has a whole different name in the comics, but
According to you. Oh, sorry.
exactly. That's what I was thinking. But
Kelly?
but anyway, I think Civil War was a fine name to have it as, because they weren't. I love Civil War as a comic book series, and they needed the Avengers to break up, which means they weren't going to be able to do this later, which means Civil War would have been off the table altogether. So I think they went with Civil War because it was the storyline to break them up.
I
that's fair.
understand. I understand why they did it. I guess it's just there's a
Do
lot
I
that
wish all
bothered
those
me.
characters would have been there? Yes. But
Yeah.
they could not have a 100-on-100
Well, no.
Civil War fight at an airport.
Well,
That
they
is
had it.
way too much money.
There was Endgame. Endgame kind of did that.
By the time Endgame came out, they were quadruple trillion billion detillionaires, and it
They
didn't
were
matter how many
detillionaires,
people they
guys.
had there.
That's official financial numbers. They're detillionaires.
When you get
But,
to a number that Marvel and Disney have,
It's
it's not a number that
There
exists.
isn't a
so
number for it.
you have to
I
make
will
up
say-
a word.
Or a
of
number
my
that Elon Musk is at that was in Iron Man 2.
I will say one of my favorite
Yes.
Hawkeye lines comes from Civil War. When he shows up,
I
and
know
he's like,
exactly what you're
"Really?"
gonna say.
He's like, I retire for 5 minutes and everything goes to shit."
I love how Chris Hemsworth in interviews has been open about Civil War sucked because Thor wasn't in it. He said not enough Thor.
I thought you were gonna golf. Shot 18 or played 18, shot 18. Perfect shot, get it.
That's awesome.
But the line I thought you were gonna go with, Mike, was the when he's fighting Black Panther and he says, "I don't think we introduced ourselves. My name's Clint." Black Panther just says, "I don't care."
Yeah. Whoa, you have a metal arm, dude. That's awesome.
And
Oh,
we can't even forget that Spider-Man
I-
was introduced in this
Yes,
movie.
honestly,
dude,
the biggest
and
redeeming
Spider-Man-
quality for me is Spider-Man in this movie.
Oh yeah. And people forget that Spider-Man like fucking easily bodied Falcon and Bucky. No
Oh, yeah.
problem.
I
Yeah.
love I love the little chemistry with Falcon and Winter Soldier. Where like, I hate that guy.
I hate
Yeah.
you.
I hate
They
you.
hate each other.
Yeah, and Falcon
Because couldn't
says
you have
to,
done? He calls the thing from his wrist. Couldn't you have done that earlier? I hate you.
I hate you. Yeah. And then when Falcon's fighting Peter, he's like, I don't know how many fights you've been in, but normally there's not this much talking.
Yes,
Oh,
yeah.
sorry. And then Spider-Man just bodies him.
Dude.
But
all right,
anyway,
all right.
let's put this somewhere.
All right,
on
so
the
this is the
list.
point of contention. Yeah, we got to move on a little bit here. We got to end this relatively soon. So Civil War, we're gonna have varying opinions. Mike, be honest, where do you put it?
To me, oh my god.
Don't
This
say
is
why
so
was this
hard.
made.
No. It's not even
It's
the
probably
lowest I
between,
would
like,
put it. Yeah, the
is
lowest I
mid.
would put it is mid, but just because of Spider-Man being introduced and everything, I would say it's good.
I would go great
I would
to
go
high
great.
good. Corey, Captain America or Civil War? Hey, that's funny.
Those are the same movie, Adrian.
Yeah, Corey,
Uh,
please say Civil War.
Listen, I'm as much as the first
Corey?
Captain America stays accurate to the comics, and I do really love it.
Yeah.
I've watched Civil War more times and enjoy it more.
God, I
Thank
hate
you.
that so much.
See, Mike, now you know how I feel
Now
about
Mike has one.
Thor.
I hate that so much.
I cannot.
I'm going to be
believe-
completely honest with you guys. I hate where you guys have Age of Ultron, so we're even.
Wait, where's it at? At
Mid as
mid?
fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that movie's mid.
No.
All right, so we're gonna kind of speed up a little bit here. Doctor Strange, the introduction of Benedict Cumbersnooch, or however you say his name. Sherlock Holmes. Wait, the other Sherlock Holmes. I never realized that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aren't,
So
all,
Doctor
aren't all
Strange.
three of them in the MCU? Isn't there three of them?
Who's the third one?
Oh, fucking no. Just move on.
But but Doctor Strange was a character a lot of people wanted around the time Ant-Man came out. They thought like a bigger character like Black Panther or Doctor Strange would have had more hype going into Age of Ultron. So we finally got our Doctor Strange movie. It's another experimental movie, and I think it has to be with this character.
Yeah.
But another guy that starts out very kind of Tony Starkish, very Thor, like kind of a dick, kind of overconfident, not chauvinist, sorry. Not chauvinist. What's the word I'm thinking of? Not I'm thinking of all these like misogynists. I can't think of the word. He's arrogant. Narcissist.
Oh, he's a narcissist for sure.
Like when Tony's reading the report from Natasha, narcissism. I'll give you that. But, yeah, so Doctor Strange, very fucking out there movie. This would probably be the best to smoke some weed and watch or trip and watch.
I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about.
Listen,
no comment.
The Doctor Strange movies, the two that have existed now, visually are both confusing and pleasing at the same time.
Yeah, confusing and beautiful.
Yeah, I'm there for all of them.
Celine giving Doctor Strange an ass. Okay, wow.
I only watched this movie with the lights off, screen lit, laying in my bed. I love the way this movie looks.
With his bong in his left hand.
With his bong.
I'm in the future. But I don't have a bong anymore.
Yeah, bong Mike. That's so fucking early 2000s.
We're millennials, all right?
I wonder which.
That's true.
I wonder which of the three of us doesn't smoke weed. You got your bong.
That's true.
You got your weed bong.
Are you doing the pots?
You're doing the pots, right? You did the pots. You did the thing.
I did 3
She
pots.
said, "Gee, I wasn't."
I did 3 pots.
I did 3 of the pots. He's addicted to the pot.
Honestly, can I look at our tier list for a second?
Oh yeah, Celine says I wasn't high when I watched it. Wow, she gave it an S and she wasn't even high. Celine, you should watch this movie high. You'd give it like an S++. Here we are.
I think.
Honestly, Mike, what do you think of that Civil War placement?
I think since Winter Soldier, this is the first one that I like thoroughly enjoyed straight through. Like,
okay.
From start to finish. Well, I get Guardians came after Winter Soldier.
It did.
All right. Well then it's the first one after Guardians that I really like enjoyed the whole way through.
Yeah, bro. Turns out the first 3 phases are pretty solid.
They are. I mean, the first 3 phases are amazing.
I didn't say amazing.
I will say amazing. Yeah, no, Doctor Strange is one of it barely is out of my top 5, I think, as far as movies go. So for me, it's just
great introduction to a great character.
Yeah. I love that it's kind of very Tony Stark beginnings, like you said. And he starts out as this, fucking cocky, arrogant doctor, and his hands get ruined, which is kind of like a haha in your face moment. Be cocky now, bitch.
Right.
But he shows what his character really is. He's determined to do absolutely anything possible to get his career back, and persistence is part of a thing that's good about him, and I think that's part of why he's maybe not necessarily. I don't know how to describe this. He's not what the normal people who do that kind of thing would be like. Like, shit. Corey, help me out here. What are those people called that he goes and joins them? They're kind of like a cult.
Like monks?
Are they just monks?
I think they're just monks. Yeah.
Okay. Well, he joins he joins these magic monks. Oh, look at that, magic monks.
Magic monks. This magic monk. I had the first Doctor Strange at B. Okay, we have a big discrepancy finally. Celine with an S and Tim with a B.
What? No, he
bumped it up to
Ramen.
God damn it. Okay, it's still a different.
But
not sidetrack.
I just
yes, Tim.
Jesus.
Wait, Tim, do you play the preset sphere grid or do you play the custom one, the advanced? Let us know in the comments while Mike talks.
I just personally, I feel that this character, Doctor Strange's character, is one of the best in the MCU. and yeah, I just
He's another
yeah,
one that
it's
he's another one that they couldn't cast anybody better.
no, God
yeah,
no.
absolutely.
This movie, and I know I'm
Yeah, and
jumping
then
the gun, but
and
this,
then
this
when they
movie is the
finally
best
get
for me.
together. Okay. Yeah, and then when him and Tony get together, it's another one of those clashing of egos where you see these two guys that are fucking they don't realize how similar they are.
They're the same fucking person. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're the same person. It's like Pam, it's the same picture. I don't even remember, it's been so long. I think the standard one. So Mike says S tier. Corey, what do you think?
See, I as much as I love the character,
Yeah.
the first movie was an introduction. I still think I still think it's great. I don't think it's God tier.
And I would say
but it's-
good.
Yeah, so I'm good with it being at great.
Yep. This or the first Captain America.
No.
I think I'd rather watch Doctor Strange.
Not
Or-
in a million years.
What, you'd rather watch the first Captain America?
5 times out of 6. I don't know why
Alright, well,
I chose 6, but
I'm putting Doctor Strange in the middle because it did something.
and there's the
new
first
and-
thing I hate that you guys just did.
No, you
Well-
hate that we put Age of Ultron. Admit it.
No, that was just a mild annoyance. I'm mad now.
Guys, we all have a problem with one movie in the great category. That's hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
Great is
They
our
are-
great is our most divisive category. And I
that's
should probably go
weird.
back to that. Because I already forgot what was next. Okay, Guardians 2. Run it back, Guardians. I didn't think it was quite as strong as the first one. I thought
No.
there was a little element missing, a little bit of the magic. I don't think there is a bad Guardians movie, so this
No.
would still probably be good to great to me. But it didn't capture the same emotion,
No.
I think because the first one, again, another franchise being so fresh, it benefits from being the first one. The second one didn't have the magic to me, which is weird because the third one has just as much
The
of the
third
magic.
one's
But
so fucking good.
Yeah.
The beauty of this one, we got introduced to Mantis, which I love her character.
Yeah.
absolutely.
We got. I wasn't really sold on Kurt Russell.
Yeah.
How dare you? Ego was awesome.
Of course.
hated
I
it.
mean,
was
Mike,
not a
by the
fan.
way, you'll get more of Kurt Russell when you watch The Thing.
Yeah, well, I don't hate Kurt Russell. I didn't
Well,
really
I know.
care for him. I didn't care for him in this movie.
Okay.
I thought Ego is. I don't
He
know.
didn't care for
and
you
this-
in this movie.
He probably didn't. he has an ego.
Ah.
But- It was just kind of weird. Now, Corey, again, don't know much about the Guardians. Don't know much about Peter Quill.
Works every
sure-
time.
I'm sure Corey, you did a little bit more research into this after the first Guardians.
Oh yeah,
movie.
I know a lot
Um,
more about this stuff now.
Was Peter Quill actually like? Was he made from a god?
Yes, he is half human, half Terran, half god.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Half Taryn, half Tino.
it just seemed weird. And then, so are him and
Nice.
Mantis? Are him and
Lots
Mantis
of
Really dumb
actually?
joke. That's a
Are,
really
are
dumb
him and
joke.
Mantis actually brother and sister? Then
No, I think that was made up for the movies.
that was made up for the movies. Okay.
I think so. Yeah,
Sorry if spoilers for anybody who hasn't seen Guardians 3
or the
um,
Christmas. special.
Whoa!
or the Christmas
Check
special.
this
yeah.
out. We have
Oh,
Tim's
God.
first S rank. I didn't even
Oh my
realize
God.
you haven't
I-
given an S yet, Tim.
Tim, I'm really glad you said that because I like this one
Tim-
pretty much just as much as the first one.
I strongly disagree.
Tim, every time
Um,
we disagree with you, you have to give us $5.
Never mind, I disagree.
Corey selling out for $5. That's a pity.
That is. I should be
Um,
ashamed of myself.
the movie, it worked on a lot of different levels for me, as opposed to when I first watched it, I definitely wasn't a big fan of it, maybe because it didn't, like Adrian said, I don't think it captured the magic from the first one.
Mhm.
But I've watched it a couple times since then, and it's still a pretty damn good movie.
It's still very good in terms of the MCU,
yeah.
the whole scope.
Yep.
Hey,
I mean,
watch
I
it
still
easy
love
with
these
that shit.
characters. I love Groot. Groot in this one was kind of more annoying to me just because of the whole baby Groot thing. But I feel
Yeah.
like baby Groot was just to sell toys.
And he's not as bad as fucking Teefs. I hate Teefs.
You really hate Teefs.
I can't explain it. I just
I'm
hate
gonna
that
call
dude.
myself Thieves because I have kids.
Yeah, we all get it, you big fat fucking porpoise. I'm glad you're
But
dead. Oh,
I love
spoilers.
I love Drax. I love Rocket. Quill's still funny though. He has this weird like I can't fucking say it. You know what I mean?
Existential.
Thank you. Crisis, and that kind of annoys me. But other than that, the movie is solid. I do love Michael Rooker in this one so much. His little Mary Poppins thing was pretty cool. I'm Mary Poppins, bitch.
They gave him his fin. In the comics, he always had the fin on his head.
Yeah.
It kind of bothered me in the first one. He just had that little strip that looked like a little mohawk.
So they gave him his fin, which then the fin goes to fucking James Gunn's brother in the third movie.
That's my favorite part about the Meg. When it ends, it says Finn.
My favorite part about the Meg,
but it's great.
My favorite part about the Meg is that it's so much better than Jaws.
It is.
Anyway, so where do you guys place this movie? Guardians 2, Corey, you said you like it every bit as much as the first, so it's God tier?
I do. I don't think I'm going to win God tier on this one. Because
I'm saying it's great. It's still. I'm gonna have it at the A category for me.
I would say I'm fine with great.
If you put it great, I like it more than everything in great.
Okay, Mike, where are you at?
Yeah, well, I don't like it. I don't like it more than Doctor Strange.
But you like it more than Civil War.
But I like it more than Civil War. So
I like Civil War more, so I'm putting it right there.
Okay. God damn it.
That's only 2 movies away from being where I'd put it. So
yeah, okay. All right, guys. Moving on here. So we have our first we had our introduction to Spidey. Hey, Queens. Had an introduction to Spidey in Civil War, Mike's favorite movie. And he finally gets his first standalone movie in the MCU here. Of course, initially a knock I had on this movie is that I love the origin story with Spider-Man. I think you should always tell that origin story. I never get tired of it. You went on to see this is an example of this movie getting better by proxy of the following movies, because there's kind of a twist on an origin story that I didn't see coming. And that in turn makes this better for me, makes all 3 kind of better for me. But I love Tom Holland. I think he's kind of the middling for me because I've always loved Tobey Maguire's Pete. I've always loved Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man. And I think Tom Holland's kind of the middle in both of those.
Tom Holland nails both of them. He really does. It's
Tom Holland nailed Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield.
Well, that's
a poll.
There was a deleted scene in No Way Home or whatever the hell.
Corey, did you even watch No Way Home?
Sure.
Yeah, remember when Toby talked about producing the webs out of his hands, and they were both like, "Ew, gross. Let's feel them."
So you can't do that.
Does it come out anywhere else? Can we check?
Yes.
He's like, it comes out of my penis. Oh wait, that was the joke, but you guys were being subtle, and I just said it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I love Homecoming. I do think it's stronger than the second movie. We'll get to that, but I like Homecoming more. I love anything Michael Keaton does. I'm always on board. Absolutely. I think he's great as Adrian Toomes. Like I said, I think Tom Holland is kind of that middling where I like him in both. I don't know if I love either, but I do really like him in both characters.
I will say I like him a lot more. Sorry,
this was
go ahead.
Sorry, I just wanted to say this was kind of the point where I was getting tired of a lot of villains' motives being Tony Stark, and this is another very Iron Man driven movie. This one and Far From Home, both I think fairly get criticized for him being more Iron Man Jr. than Spider-Man.
Yeah,
and like I said, that gets fixed, but still it does bother me in these 2 movies. So I don't love that it's so Iron Man based. I think you could have Iron Man in here and make it more effective, but I don't love it being half Iron Man story, half Spider-Man's.
I do love that, or not do love. I would say that I enjoyed Tom Holland's Spider-Man a lot more in Civil War than in his standalone movie. But we get a lot more about we get a lot more about this Peter Parker. I don't like how, for some weird ass reason, Aunt May keeps getting super young every single time they make
every iteration
Spider-Man.
is her young. I hear in the next Spider-Man series, she's going to be younger than Peter.
It's like this Benjamin Button effect going on here with Aunt May.
Right.
Which it's possible to have an aunt younger than you. So
that is very possible.
That is. We have that in our family.
Yeah, exactly.
So I don't know. There are definitely aspects of this Peter Parker that I don't care for, and crazy enough, none of them actually deal with Peter Parker or Spider-Man.
Wait, so what don't you like? What do you mean?
Well, the whole I don't know the MJ relationship's weird to me because
Yeah, the first one,
like she's not even MJ. Like, what's her? That's not even her
Michelle
real name.
Jones.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah.
That's not Mary Jane.
Watson.
It was a nice, it was a nice twist, like on this first movie, because he was so infatuated with whatever the girl's name was, and it ends up that this was before like Zendaya was Zendaya, before like
Yeah.
the world knew she was this great actress. So it was a nice twist having her be MJ at the end. And the other twist I loved, of course, is Michael Keaton being her father, not
Yeah, that
Zendaya,
was-
but
yeah.
the girl that he was infatuated with. Yeah,
that moment when Michael Keaton looks at Tom Holland and he knows, like,
Yep.
this little fucker
Yeah, and
Spider-Man.
did you notice the
It's-
camera work of the red light turning green as soon as he figures it out? The
Oh, really?
red light, they're
Wow,
sitting at a
yeah.
red light and it's red on his face. And as
Oh,
soon
yeah.
as he figures out he's Spider-Man, the green lights up to go because he's Vulture.
that's pretty
That's cool.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
That's
found
one of my
that
favorite
movie not-
shots in the movie.
This movie, I like the writing. The jokes are, I mean, the way a Spider-Man movie should be. I do love that he's still trying to get used to the suit and everything. I love that. I do love that Iron Man's kind of a mentor to him because in the comics, Iron Man and Spider-Man are very close.
Yeah.
That's like not a like that's
why-
something that
that's
these
why he
movies
takes
do
his
very
side in
well.
Civil War.
Yeah, and I'm totally fine with, like I said, I'm fine with Iron Man being involved in the movie. I don't think like you should have got rid of him completely. It's just
The problem is
vil-
in the comics and the cartoons, Spider-Man did his own Spider-Man thing. And the way he had all this really advanced technology was Shield gave him stuff because they wanted him to be able to continue to protect Queens in New York.
okay.
They just changed it to Spider-Man because Shield fell already in this MCU.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
where everybody's upset that he's Iron Man Jr., it's because they had to find a way to give him this technology now that Shield's gone. And they decided, well, Tony Stark would take him under his wing. Let's
Listen,
just do that.
listen. Back in my day, Spider-Man did it himself, and it was called Sam Raimi.
Jesus.
Also, isn't Sam Raimi's version the only one where he actually like shoots organic webs? It usually is, right?
Yes.
He makes cartridges and shit.
Well, not
There's-
in the
there's a
comics. No,
version in
there's,
the comics
there's different
that-
versions.
Okay.
But most of the iterations of Spider-Man, like
He
Amazing,
makes-
Ultimate, Ultra, he makes it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, guys.
For honestly, I actually prefer the organic webs though, like the ones that
It
actually
is
come out
cooler.
of his hands.
Yeah.
It makes more sense to actually be
Celine
Spider-Man.
gets it. She says, "LOL, organic webs, FT, fuck the world."
I must have. I had whatever that is that where you read things backwards, and
Oh, yeah. You had the mirror on?
I read WTF.
And that's honestly, I did too. She's like, organic webs, what the fuck?
Is that dyslexia where you read things backwards?
Dyslexia.
Yeah.
Sexlexia.
Dyslexia.
It's
That's
sexy.
Zap Brannigan. Wow, guys, look how even we have these top three tiers here. And
Yeah.
then you have a couple below. Spider-Man Homecoming, where are we putting it? What do we think of Spider-Man's first solo outing?
It's a pretty good movie for me. I'd say good.
I'm pretty good with good. I'm
It's
bordering
good, and I like it more than all of them but Ant-Man.
Okay, Mike, what do you think?
I'm actually the same way.
Well, then we'll vote. Let's get it. We'll put it right there.
All right.
Okay,
Fantastic. Look, we
okay.
actually all agreed on one, guys.
I know.
All right. All right, we're getting on the home stretch here. Next one is the big one. This is a movie that was pretty universally loved. As it's gone on, some people have split opinions because people like to be controversial, but Thor Ragnarok. This is the introduction to Taika Waititi in this world. This is obviously where there was still a lot of Tonka Watonka, wonton tacos.
It's full name. It's his full name.
Yeah, but there was some Tatonka. But there was definitely a lot of heartfelt moments, a lot of emotion still, but it definitely played into the more comedic side.
This is my favorite. This is my favorite Thor out of the
Oh,
yeah.
all four of them.
And
not
while I
even a
still
contest.
contend that, while I still agree that I do love this movie, I do think Corey had the Resident Evil 4 problem. For the record, Resident Evil 4 is one of Corey and I, both of our favorite game of all time, but it started to push Resident Evil more into this action genre that eventually went too overboard with like Resident Evil 6. Felt like a Michael Bay video game. Ragnarok, I love, especially for this franchise, Thor. I know we have difference of opinions, Core and Love and Thunder, but Ragnarok is responsible for even upping the goofiness a little bit more in the MCU than it already was. Yeah. It was responsible for dumbing Thor down even more. I don't love that, but I do love this movie. I just don't like the direction it took some of the MCU with the over goofiness.
I think it had Hulk at a perfect level.
Yes.
He could rationally think, but he was still a beast.
Yeah.
So Adrian, with your logic, the way you did, because kind of our logic with the first Iron Man,
good man.
We put it up at S because it spawned everything after it. So in your opinion, even though this movie is really fucking good, you'd probably put it down a peg because of the direction it took the rest of the MCU?
No, I don't. I'm not taking points away from this for what the future did. That was their decision. Okay. Although I think this was kind of the spark plug for that. I don't take any points from Resident Evil 4. I fucking love Resident Evil 4.
Okay. I wanted to make sure.
Yeah, I don't take points away from Dream Warriors from Nightmare on Elm Street, even though that's what led to kind of the goofier Freddy, because I love that movie. But yeah, so no, I don't take points off this. I fucking still love this movie. It's the comedy is so. That's why I don't understand what Taika Waititi did with the newer one. I know they kind of took the chains off him and let him go full bore, and kind of to the detriment for me, it felt like he was writing the movie for fucking 5-year-olds. But this movie, Taika Waititi nailed the comedy. Like everything is funny. This movie, there's no moment where I'm like, oh, that's kind of cringy.
I mean, guys, Jeff Goldblum's in the movie. Okay.
Yeah. Sir, no, kind sir, please don't cut my hair.
Jeff Goldblum is in the movie.
Yeah.
Everything is funny. Everything is funny. But there's no screaming goats, so take it or leave it.
So that gets more points. Yeah. Hulk, the arena scene is fucking badass. Seeing Natasha like talk Hulk down from the ledge, finally getting to go back to Bruce. One of my favorite comedic moments. Oh, what did I miss? We had a fight. Did I win? No, I won easily. That doesn't sound right.
When Thor's trying to log into the ship, he keeps saying "strongest Avenger" and it's not working. Says, Point Break. Damn you, Tony.
And then
Bruce comes in. Smartest Avenger. Welcome, Bruce Banner. And Thor goes, "What?"
Another one of my favorite fucking. I think my favorite through line joke of this movie is how Thor talks shit on Bruce to Hulk and talks shit on Hulk to Bruce. I don't even like him. Ooh, I'm smart. And then when he's Bruce, he's like, you probably like the Hulk. You just use me for the Hulk. Hulk, I don't even like that guy. Ooh, I'm big and green.
I also love the whole like Loki thing. Like as soon as he sees Hulk show up, he tries to like ducks down. He's like, oh fuck.
Oh my god, yeah. I have to get out of here.
And then, of course, Thor. He's a friend from work.
He's a friend from work. This is the introduction of Valkyrie.
Yeah, which she's pretty badass.
Tessa Thompson. This is the introduction of, help me out, Freya.
Hela.
Which she's
hella good. She's
only in one movie, right? Or is
so far.
Yeah, this is the death of Odin, the death of Mjolnir for a while.
This is where we see Matt Damon play Odin.
I love it so much. And you know what? I was thinking when when Bruce jumps out of that ship and he just like smacks on the floor.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if that's a nod to the Incredible Hulk with Edward Norton, because he kind of does that. He like jumps out of a helicopter and he just lands on the ground before he turns into the Hulk. I'm wondering if they did that like as a callback. But I don't really have anything bad to say about Ragnarok, honestly. I
love this movie. I love Taco Tatanka's character in the movie as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Korg.
Korg's hilarious.
What does he say? Another day, another Dale. When he thinks he's done. Yeah, I like Korg in this one.
I want you to meet Dale. Oh wait, Dale's dead.
Dale's dead. Rock, paper, scissors, bro. I definitely like Korg more in this one than I like
these freaking ghosts.
Korg was okay in that little Deadpool Korg thing they did together.
Oh, that little little trailer
I like Korg all the way through. So
I like turtles. All right, guys. So we don't need to spend an extensive amount of time on movies we agree about. So Thor Ragnarok, it's probably
it's
the
great.
height of comedy for the MCU.
It's great.
I would argue between God tier and great.
I was gonna say God tier.
Let's
Well,
go to
then
God tier.
Throw up God tier. You know what? Now that you said, I would watch it over Iron Man.
Okay, Corey, you agree?
Same.
Guardians.
But that's where I. But that's
That's
where I'd
hard.
throw
That's
someone.
that's where I would leave it.
I'm fine. I'm fine with that. Let's leave that there. Okay, guys, we're down to our last couple here. So, another one, just like Spider-Man: Homecoming. We already met this character in a previous film. T'Challa finally gets his own movie. Black Panther. I mean, I really enjoy Black Panther. It's a bit of a mess at the end. I wish they wouldn't have gone the fucking CGI route with the enemies. It looks terrible.
Yeah.
The movie up to it had so much emotion, and it was just a good, just a good story. Like a good story. Father and son.
See-
He thinks his father did some shady shit, finds out he didn't. Fucking Killmonger is one of the best villains. And then they do this CGI battle bullshit that I didn't like. But let's not kid ourselves. This movie was like, when it came out, people were trying to vote it for like the greatest movie in the MCU, the greatest movie of the year, one of the greatest movies in the past decade.
No.
It got love, and I'm happy that it did. It deserves it, but it wasn't that good. Like
It was not.
I liked it a lot. I don't love it.
No, yeah. Ryan Coogler's very good with the soundtrack. Banging fucking soundtrack. The sound effects every time something happens stopped my heart every time it happened.
Wakanda's
There's a lot of
beautiful.
really cool shots in Wakanda, even when they're driving through the streets and he's trying to stop Claw.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Hey,
There's a lot of really cool stuff. But
I really love that like weird secret agent guy. He was cool.
Doesn't Yondu make an appearance on this one?
No.
I feel like
Yondu's
he sees
dead.
Yondu. Yeah, I know, but like as an image, I feel like somebody sees Yondu. I don't know. Maybe
not
I'm
Black
crazy.
Panther.
Yeah, maybe not in
Yeah,
Black Panther.
I think
You don't see
too many,
Yondu again
gummies.
until Guardians 3.
Okay. Yeah, you definitely see him there. I have Black Panther. Oh, wait. Okay, so what do we have? Oh, for the record, Celine had Ragnarok at A, Tim had it at B, and I think I need to change that because I don't know why it's that low. It's probably an A. Okay, nicely done, Tim. What does he say?
You said the character's name was Dale that died. The character's name is actually Doug.
Oh, wait,
Yeah.
Why didn't he do Doug? Oh, okay. I finally
That's
got what he
right.
was doing. I'm like, why did he
Doug.
censor out? I gotcha. Very nicely done, Tim.
He could have put redacted.
I forgot the guy's name, and that was Doug. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have Black Panther at B. I liked it. I don't think it was an absolute masterpiece, but it was good. Agreed.
That's yeah.
Yeah, it was good to me.
Yeah, so Black Panther. Are we thinking good?
I'm good with good. I would watch it over.
Would you watch it over Iron Man 3?
Yes.
Corey, would you?
Iron Man 3. I'd put it right under Homecoming personally.
Where would you put it?
Yeah, I would put it right under Homecoming.
It has to go over fucking Thor.
So
I agree with you.
Never mind. Put it behind Thor.
Nope. me and Mike voted to put it ahead, so it stays.
Damn it, Mike.
All right, guys. Not going to spend a lot of time on this one. Fucking Avengers: Infinity War. It's a masterpiece.
It is 100% a masterpiece.
It's somehow that they took so many characters and they somehow gave them all great screen time. Gave them all great character development. I thought it was going to be a big mess. Like I thought I would love it, but I thought there's too many characters. There's no way you can give them all the time they need. They all blend well together. They all have great chemistry. They all have their appropriate story beat moments. There's emotion with Gamora.
And they even introduced new characters and still gave them enough screen time.
And fucking
We got
this is
Squidward.
the world. Squidward. The world hated this movie made the world hate Peter Quill for about 6 months.
Oh my god, I know.
Asshole, tell me you didn't do it.
I love that he called back that he ruined the universe in the third Guardians.
Yeah.
He says there was a point where I let my anger get the best of me and I killed half the universe, but then they came back.
And then she fell off a magic mountain and she came back. How? I don't know. I'm not some kind of Infinity Stone expert. But then she came back a total dick.
I love that. That whole movie is just amazing.
Yeah.
It is. But Infinity War, guys, I mean, we're already running long. What else can you say about an Infinity War that hasn't been said 1,000 times? The impact at the end, while it is super fucking emotional, impactful, you know these characters are coming back. There was
Yeah.
already Spider-Man was already announced to have another movie, so you knew they were coming back. That hurt it a little bit, but the
Don't feel
moment
so
was
well,
still
Mr.
great.
Stark.
Yeah. That,
also for comic book fans, we all knew.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I took my daughters to see this movie, and if either of them watch this, they'll probably be mad at me even saying this, but we took them because they loved Tom Holland, like he was their man. And I took them to see this, and when he got snapped, when he said, "I don't know, I'm sorry, Mr. Stark, I don't want to die," dude, they were bawling.
Yeah.
Holy cow, were their
Because
tears rolling down there?
because the realization of that moment is like his spider sense kicks in early,
And
so
he
he can
realized,
feel all these people disappearing. He can feel himself about to, and he's at the end of the day, he's what, like a 17-year-old kid, a 16, like
Yeah.
that's scary. That's scary. But yeah, it was still emotional. And Corey, to your point, I think where that moment worked the best is probably with kids because they don't know any better. They think these characters are dead.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah. So, but
One
the
of
movie's-
my favorite funny moments does come from this between Tony Stark, Spider-Man, and Doctor Strange when they're introducing themselves. He's like, "I'm Doctor Strange." He's like, "Oh, I see we're using our made-up names. I'm Spider-Man."
Yeah, and then when Strange and Stark meet, what do you do exactly besides make balloon animals? God, I love them. When you broke up, what do you mean the Avengers broke up like the Beatles?
Is Kevin Bacon on the team? I don't know. I haven't been there in a while.
Yeah, he might be. I don't know.
It's so
Oh,
funny they keep
dude.
saying Kevin Bacon.
Some of the stuff
Is Footloose still the greatest movie of all time? It never was.
it never was. I love everything with Thor and the Guardians. That whole scene
Yes.
is
Oh yeah,
holy shit.
they blended
When-
together so well.
When Peter uses his deep voice, he's like, "Why'd you just change your voice?" "I didn't change my voice." "Yes, you did."
You will not be taking my ship today, sir. Peter, why are you talking like that?
Yeah,
This is my
you're-
normal voice. You're being
you're
the God
imitating-
Man.
Yeah, you're imitating the God Man. He's
Yeah,
not a
that's
dude.
it. You're doing
He's a
him.
man. You're a dude.
This is my voice. I like when he's passed out on the table and they're talking about his body and he goes, "That's it. I'm getting a Bowflex. I'm gonna commit."
Yeah, that's one of those little lines that like you could miss because it's in the background, but it's so funny. Stop stroking his muscles. Hey, you got to give it to Quill though. He was gonna fucking shoot Gamora. He was gonna do it.
Yeah.
He held up his promise. I would like to. I really would. She's like, "You have to promise to kill me." I'd like to, but I'm busy that week.
Are these the smoke grenades or the blow off your junk ones? Because I don't want to put them on my belt.
So many great fucking the Guardians
Yes.
just blended in there beautifully.
They
One of
did.
my favorite things is like, who's your leader? What am I supposed to say? Jesus?
Jesus, what are you from Earth?
Yeah, that's Earth, dumbass. Yeah. So I mean, Infinity War, guys, it's God tier, right?
Yeah. And
Yeah.
it's above everything but Winter
Yep.
Soldier for me. But
Yeah, it's above
I'm putting
everything
it
but Winter
above
Soldier for me,
everything.
too.
Fuck. Okay. That's fine.
He's like,
I mean, if you guys had argued above everything, I wouldn't have argued that. So
Well, that's cool. We have two Avengers back to back. That's cool. At the top there.
"It's true. It makes
Okay.
sense then. Let's be
All right,
honest."
final four. I don't have a ton of thoughts about the next two, and then we can wrap with the last two. Ant-Man and the Wasp, honestly, I haven't seen it in a long time. I don't remember much about it. If you guys want to talk for a minute, or I'll just listen. I don't remember almost anything about this movie.
Yeah, I don't remember a lot about it myself.
I mean, I do.
Yeah. The villain was what? That ghost girl that could like operate through walls and shit.
The
Or she was
villain
set up
was
to be a villain.
kind of Ghost / Walter Goggins character in the movie.
Yeah.
Because he was trying to get the lab for his own
Okay.
personal business, but there's not really a clear-cut villain in that movie. It's kind of a split between the two, and neither of them were. Ghost was more of a just troubled, I'm in pain, I need a cure.
Okay.
And Walter Goggins was a bumbling idiot who just who did dealings with Jane, and but
Yeah, it's definitely one
or
I'd have to
Janet.
revisit again.
Jane. But I mean, there's a lot of funny stuff in the movie. Like one of my favorite things is how he's talking about the serum that'll make him tell the truth, and Michael Pena saying, "So it's the truth serum," and the guy's like, "It is not a truth serum." And then at the end, when they gives it to them, the guy goes, oh, we didn't do this. He's our boss. He killed everybody. And Walter Goggins goes, "It's true. I did. I killed everybody." And then the Indian guy just goes, "Oh my God, it is a truth serum."
Tim says I have that.
Lines, but...
Tim says he has this at C. I didn't not like it, but I can't say I really want to rewatch it on a frequent basis.
I don't rewatch it every go through.
Yeah, so this is the one where Ant-Man gets really big, right? Does he beat
it's
the 27 feet? Isn't there a joke about it?
Yeah, well, he already beats 27 feet in Civil War.
And the Civil War. Oh, yeah, that's right. He's fucking huge.
But this is the biggest he ever gets, yes.
Have you guys ever seen that really old movie, Empire Strikes Back?
How old is this kid? I don't know. I didn't carbon date him. He's on the young side.
Kid might be onto something. I love how he always says that really old movie. Yeah, so, Corey, I'm going to kind of default to you on this one. I don't care one way or another. I wouldn't feel right ranking it. So, Mike, would you feel right giving this a place? Or
It's mid for me.
Mid? Corey,
yeah,
would you rather watch this or Age of Ultron?
I hate where you have Age of Ultron. I think that answers your question.
I would I would rather watch Age of Ultron.
You think it's too low, right, Corey?
Yeah,
I think Age of Ultron should be good. Yeah.
Okay. So,
I think it's better than Iron Man, Hulk, Thor, and maybe Black Panther. But...
Yeah, I wish I. Yeah. Okay. Nope. This is probably been the most divisive movie in Phase 1, 2, or 3 because people hate this casting.
I absolutely love this movie.
Captain Marvel.
Yep, I love this movie.
I like this movie a lot.
Again, I watched it one time. I don't remember. Nothing about it really sticks out in my memory. So these are the two that, yeah.
For the longest time, I kept calling cats flirkins because of this movie.
I still do. I still 100%. If I see a bunch of cat, I go outside. There are cats that run all over our neighborhood. Every once in a while, I'll leave the house and be like, "Oh, look at all the little flirkins." I'll say it all the time.
Well, that's cool. You guys like Brie Larson as Danvers?
She did a lot of people say that was a great job.
A lot of people say that was a miscast, but I don't know.
People hate her because she's a feminist. It's
I know
she's hated for her beliefs, and that's just fucking stupid.
It is.
I think she nailed the part.
One of the things I didn't like about this movie, and as I don't care how this comes off, is
Celine, that's sexist.
But that's probably
see. I didn't really like it.
That's probably how I'm going to come off here in a second, but I'm not.
Oh.
No, I love the Carol Danvers character. I love that they chose to go with her instead of the original Captain Marvel. What I don't love is that they made the original Captain Marvel that she's listening or learning from also a female when it's not. Like,
okay,
the original Captain Marvel is a guy. So
why he's a guy? Yeah. So
yeah, like that. Yeah. That was probably my only gripe with the movie.
Captain honestly. Marvel, the original, was like I think he was green. He was like an alien. I think he was green or blue. He might have even been a Kree. I don't know. But he trained Captain Marvel. It was not Jude Law's character. It was not the Captain Marvel we got, which was more like a vision or something. I don't know. None of it was right. None of that was right.
Tim, also a C, not because it was bad. This is Homecoming over again. There was just others that were better. Okay.
Tim, it's okay to say one's bad.
They did get it right. You know, his species was Kree, and his full name was Marvel.
Yeah,
Marvel. Tim, if you don't like women, just say that.
His notable
We're
alias
joking,
was,
Tim.
His notable alias was Dr. Walter Lawson. So it's
give us money.
Kind of ironic that that's his name, and then they casted Brie Larson, which is close to Lawson.
I don't think that was intentional, but
no, it wasn't intentional. But I just think I think it's a little ironic. Isn't it ironic,
guys?
Speaking of,
Culture Shock Podcast does not endorse the message that Celine or Tim are sexist whatsoever, because they're not. You throw accusations nowadays, people take them seriously. They're two wonderful people. Josie's not wonderful because he didn't join us, but this is the only movie in the entire Marvel universe that I think gives the Guardians movies a slight run for their money as far as soundtrack goes.
Oh, okay. I'm glad.
Corey's I'm glad you.
Can I finish?
So glad.
Can I finish?
Can I finish? Oh, I was about to argue with you so hard.
No. The soundtrack wise, because I love all the songs in this movie.
To be fair, Mike, To be fair, Mike, it's because it's all music from when we were kids.
Well, I know, but
Like
I
this
lo-
is like very 90s.
like I'm a huge Garbage fan, and I just love that Only Happy When It Rains starts playing. As soon as that kick fucking booted, I'm like,
I'm
yes!
just saying it's embedded in your biology to just kind of vibe more with stuff from your generation.
Yeah, it is.
So that kind of that makes sense. That's why I like
think-
it so much.
I think there was
I-
a song about it, talking about my gen.
Yeah. I did. I enjoyed that they put "I'm Just a Girl" at the end and during the fight scene.
Yeah.
Some people hate that because they thought it was like a little too on the nose.
Yeah.
And I
Some
was
Wait,
like,
people
I'm
think too much, and some people are shitty.
yeah, I
Yeah.
think I think for this movie, in that part of the movie, I thought it was perfect. There are definitely moments that I do think are too on the nose when it comes to that certain topic, which we're going to get to in the very next movie.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Mike and I have voiced this before. It's okay to have an issue with something, and it doesn't make you a fucking raging sexist.
No,
There's doing it right, and then there's overdoing
doing it wrong. Yeah, there's
Yeah.
the wrong way and the right way.
it.
There's hidden meaning, and then there's pushing your message on me.
Right.
And what Mike's talking about is Infinity War did it perfectly.
Yes.
Endgame pushed the envelope a little bit.
Which I thought was ironic because like they were supposed to be like those movies are like
Oh
the
my God.
same.
I feel like I'm gonna get mad at you guys in this next
But
one.
Okay,
but let's
so-
get to it. I'm leaving it up to you guys. Captain Marvel.
I'm saying great. For me, it was a great movie.
Wow. Okay.
Good.
Okay.
At one point in
Oh, man,
time,
what
it
do
was
we-
in my top 5.
What do we do about
Still,
this?
for me, still below Ant-Man and Homecoming, but I don't care what you do.
Mike, where would you put it on the great scale? Out of curiosity.
In the grade scale,
Yeah, like where would you watch it over again? Like
Oh my
Captain
God.
America, Doctor Strange.
I would watch it over Captain America, but I don't know
Okay,
if I'd
so-
watch it over Captain or Doctor Strange.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do, since you guys gave me your unbiased answers, and you don't know what I'm about to do, since Mike put it only one spot over, Corey, you'd watch it over everything but Homecoming
And Ant-Man.
and Ant-Man. So since Corey went a little bit lower, Mike only went 1 over, Corey went 2 under. Gonna go with good.
Okay, I'm good with that.
Should I put it like between Ant-Man and Homecoming?
I mean, it's fine with me wherever you put it.
Okay, we'll just put it right here.
I mean, if you were to put it there, like I would literally watch Spider-Man: Homecoming and Captain Marvel. Like that's like a tie for me.
Yeah. All right, guys. Final 2. I know it's hard to wrap it up with such a big title. The second movie, quite what some people think, always thinking this is actually the end of Phase 3 when it's not.
No,
Endgame. It was the conclusion of what, a 10-year build.
Yeah.
And I mean, the most anticipated movie maybe of all time. I think still has records for the highest opening box office weekend, the opening week, the opening 2 weeks. It's up there for highest grossing movie of all time. I don't remember where, but it's top 2 or 3.
Keeps going back and forth with Avatar.
Yeah, I think Avatar re-released at a point just so it would be above it.
Yeah,
of course
pricks.
they did.
Pricks. But I mean, Endgame, not as strong as Infinity War for me.
No,
I don't like.
I'm same on that.
I don't like the time traveling stuff. I don't think the first half of this movie, on its own merits, I don't think it's super strong. I think it's good, maybe great, not super strong. What
I don't
sells this
mind.
movie is the entire second half. It's fucking unbelievable.
I don't mind the time traveling stuff. I saw that coming. I knew that's where we were going.
I knew it was a direction we were going, but
Maybe how they explain it, I don't know. I mean, we used to make the joke so many times that wait, you mean to tell me Back to the Future is bullshit?
right.
Just because we thought that line was hilarious and we used it. I don't know how many episodes.
We have a couple quick S's in the chat for Endgame, which I understand. They could
Oh,
put
Tim,
Endgame in theater again.
I'd go see it 3 times before it was out of theaters again.
Well,
I love it.
that's
I
the
don't want
thing.
people to think like I'm shitting on
Yeah,
it.
no, I'm not gonna shit. I do enjoy it a lot. Endgame, I think I watched it twice in theaters. I think the most badass Hawkeye moment does come from this movie. For
God
once
damn
they
it.
actually like used. I love Hawkeye. Okay,
I know. Talk about your fucking Hawkeye.
I'm just saying. I think that he has one of the most badass moments in this movie. Like as far as like his character goes, and throughout the entire
yeah.
MCU.
Like as a Ronin or whatever.
Yeah. And I do like that they did go that route because he lost his family, which God damn it,
Yeah.
I hated that they
I
gave
would
him a
have
family like that. But
I would have
anyway,
liked to see more exploration on that Ronin character. Like, I understand why you couldn't fit it in this movie, but maybe in
right.
another movie, I would have
They
liked to see a deeper dive into
well,
that.
and they made a Hawkeye TV series, and instead of like
Yeah.
exploring that before going to another season where they could have been after Endgame, they just
Yeah.
went after Endgame. And I was like, I was
Since
kind of hoping we've got a little bit of Ronin.
yeah, since Marvel like likes to occasionally make these like genre bending films, I kind of wish they would have made like a Ronin film with Hawkeye in like a samurai kind of sense,
Yeah.
like a
I'm gonna
samurai
tell,
film,
I'm gonna tell you right now why they'd never
Kurosawa
do
or
that.
something.
Why they'd never do that with that character.
What?
Because it's
They
really
they
brutal.
gave us as much brutal Ronin as they wanted to give us. They don't
Yeah.
want
Yeah,
us seeing Hawkeye as a bad guy.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I
He
get
gets
it.
really brutal in the comics.
There was absolutely no way to be Ronin for a whole series or movie. That would have ruined his character completely.
But
You'd never look at
Hash,
him the same.
hashtag blame Disney.
For this, I personally would agree. They'll
Right.
never let it happen.
But other than that, they did. I think they did the time traveling thing very well.
Yeah, I like
Um,
that.
Yeah. I don't think they screwed
I
it up or
think
anything.
Tony figured it out too fast.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I like the costumes. Those were kind of nice. The little Avengers like unit leotards.
Yeah, when you see a movie
yeah.
like this, you go back and you're like, "Wow, Captain's suit looked really dumb in the first Avengers." I always forget how bad it looks, and they kind of make a joke about it, but it's about his
Spangly
ass.
outfit.
Yeah. But yeah, the back half of this movie is just this is fan service done the perfect way. This is 10
Yeah.
years of earning your fan service. This is fucking moment after moment after moment where like this is the loudest I think I've ever been in a theater and heard people freaking out. Like every moment people are fucking clapping and whistling. And I
Dude,
didn't
yeah.
mind it. Sometimes I do, but in this movie, I'm like, I'm here for it. I'm enjoying this so much.
We went to a bigger area to watch this movie in theaters because I had to.
Yeah.
And the theater I was in was about 3/4 full. When the portals open and you hear Sam say on your left,
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
not only did I jump up and start yelling, most of that theater jumped up and started yelling.
That was such a badass scene when fucking all the Avengers, just everybody starts showing up.
And to relive
Like-
that moment, I sometimes look up YouTube videos of people reacting to that scene
Oh yeah.
because there's so many where people are like, "Oh my god," freaking out, like,
I don't
yes.
know. Am I the only one that loves the little like parodies that people have done of the video where they just like fucking start bringing in everybody like from everywhere?
Yeah, no, it's funny.
Like you got fucking Vin Diesel showing up in a goddamn like whatever the fuck car he drives in Fast and Furious.
God damn it. Yeah, that's a funny
That's-
concept. I like it.
That's loaded. He drives a bunch of different cars.
I know.
Yeah.
Whatever the one he's most known for driving, that fucking black one. That's
Probably
a
the
muscle car.
I think it's a Charger.
Yeah, I think it's
Yeah.
a Charger.
But this is the final sacrifice by Tony. Like
Oh my
I
God,
like
yeah.
ever since Captain called him out in the first Avengers, Tony has done nothing but make the sacrifice play. Like Tony
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
a hero. Like
Literally all
he's not
three Avengers.
yeah, he's not a traditional Captain America hero. Like Tony has a personality. He can be a bit arrogant. He can be a dick, but Tony is a hero. He loves people. You know, he loves this planet. It's like he makes the sacrifice play every movie, and he gave up his happy ending for everyone else to have a happy ending, and that fucking hurts a lot. But that
I
got me
personally-
damn emotional.
I personally love the
It's a dodge, whatever the fuck.
Sorry, that's why I started laughing so hard.
That's good.
I personally love the deleted scene that they added with the Blu-ray and digital release, where after he dies, everybody kind of just bows down onto one knee to show
Yeah.
their
Oh,
respect for what he did. But
Yeah,
I
I wish they
understand
would've
why they
kept that
took
in.
it out. I understand why they took it out. It was a little much. Like, oh, they're all I
They
get it.
worship him.
they're
Yeah,
worshiping
no,
him. I get it,
as
but
you should.
I really like it.
The biggest like I just love his little line when he right as soon as he snaps, you know, I am Iron Man. Fuck boom.
Yeah.
And
He
like
started the whole fucking MCU with that line.
yep, it was very fitting. My only complaint about this movie that is going to piss Corey off probably. And then we
Oh.
kind
I'm
of
already pissed. You didn't even say
we-
anything.
we touched on it right before we started talking about it.
We've
is-
talked about this before, yeah.
We have talked about this before. It's just I don't like the in your face like feminism that they tried to pull off in this movie.
Girl
Like,
power.
the whole like, oh, girls can be badass too. We get it. We know there's a lot of movies out there that are like that. In fact,
Yeah.
you guys fucking did it beautifully in Infinity War with that fucking fight with Black Widow,
And Scarlet Witch and
Yep.
Scarlet Witch, and that one villain from her name's escaping me, but one of Thanos' lackeys.
yeah.
Wait, you're
not
talking about
Squidward.
the girl they fight?
Yeah,
Proxima Midnight.
thank you.
Yeah.
That was fucking beautifully done. It showed
Yeah,
that they had no need for a man in that whole entire interaction, and they look probably even more badass than some of the men on the field.
Yeah.
Like,
It's just that it's just like a convenience that every single woman on the battlefield is at the same place
no,
at the same
seriously.
time.
Get the fuck out. That did not organically happen. Like,
Right, don't worry,
does
she
not
has help.
happen. I'm
I
sorry, but
I
that's
get it,
fucking
like-
stupid.
Yeah. When there's three
Uh,
girls there, when there's Natasha and there's Wanda, and then there's the girl from Wakanda. When those three are there in Infinity War, and Natasha says she's not alone, like that's
Yeah.
perfect. That,
Right.
You got three women kicking her ass. That's
But
perfect.
you don't got 40 fucking women
Okay.
just all together in one location. Like, what? Why wouldn't they be mixed into the battlefield? Are we segregating the women? Is that what we're doing? Because you're sending
Well,
the wrong
love-
message there, buddy.
Love is a battlefield.
Love is a battlefield. You're right.
I'm gonna put one thing out that I think you're confusing me with another person we used to talk to about this.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
yeah,
didn't
maybe.
hate that moment.
I don't think our
it
other
could have been
person did
done
either.
better.
I'm not the moment.
I
there's
think I cringed when I cringe every time I see it.
there's aspects of it
It's
that
a
I
little
like.
too in your face, but I like the moment.
There are aspects of it that I like. I like the interaction between Captain Marvel and Peter Parker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love
Like
Peter Parker.
that little thing where she's like, I'm Peter Parker. She's like, hi, Peter. I'm
Yeah.
whatever she says her name is.
I don't think she says a name. She
I don't
just
think she says a name. No.
She just says hi, Peter Parker.
Yeah, that's what she
Got
says. Yeah,
something for me?
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, but I
Yeah.
like that little interaction, you know, and
Oh, yeah.
all of the women trying to help him get the gauntlet to somebody, like, that was nice. It absolutely was nice, but just the way the camera panned.
Yeah. It's so
thing-
it's so like they know what they're doing. Yeah, they know exactly what they're doing.
the thing that irritates me about the way they handled that was it should have been somebody other than Carol Danvers that they were helping. She does not need their help.
No,
That
God,
woman
no.
could take out
Right.
pretty much everybody on that
She-
battlefield.
Oh
she
yeah.
could kill Thanos by herself.
So if that moment had happened before Captain Marvel showed up at the fight,
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
like with another one of the female protagonists, like
Mhm.
Tessa, like Valkyrie or
Yeah.
something. I get
Yeah.
it. They're like, okay, women power, we got her back. But come on, Captain Marvel does not need your help. She literally can blast through
No.
everybody.
Yeah, she don't need no
God, no.
woman's help. She don't need no man's help. She'll fuck them all up. What are they shooting at? Her entrance was pretty badass.
Yeah.
Yes.
Too bad Thanos fucking bodied her.
I
But
just-
yeah,
Which
yeah,
aside
the-
from that scene, I love the movie.
yeah, I have. Even though the first half wasn't my favorite bit of the MCU,
It was
it's
necessary.
just it's a great yeah, it's definitely necessary, but it was a great fucking movie. It's a great send off. With that
Yeah.
that last hour of that movie is, I think, the best you ever could have done a send off to this universe.
If they would have, and this is going to piss Corey off too, if they would have ended the MCU on after Endgame, like if that would have just been it, it'd have been perfect.
That would have been cool.
They didn't have to continue it. I'm not upset that they're continuing it.
perfect.
Except-
is the
except-
right word.
Except cherry picking the movies I like. Don't
Yeah.
still make Guardians 3.
Yes,
I
yes.
want to cherry pick.
Still make No Way Home.
Oh yeah, No Way Home. Yeah, still make No Way Home. Only movies I like.
Multiverse of
I think
Madness.
that's fair. I think that's fair.
I'm okay with Multiverse of Madness. I enjoyed that one.
Eternals.
But Endgame's fucking
Mm,
ew. But Endgame's spectacular. I would have a hard time putting it anything under God tier. It deserves it.
and honestly, the only I would watch Winter Soldier and Infinity War over it. That's it.
I was gonna say I have to say I'd watch it over Iron Man, over Ragnarok, over Guardians. Oh man, we might have an Avengers streak here. Corey, you're sticking with Winter Soldier. Where does this rank in your
Mine-
Avengers pantheon?
Mine was kind of the same as Mike's. It'd be the
What'd he
third on
say?
that list.
It'd be right here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as a whole,
agreed.
if you put those two movies together, it goes above.
Oh,
Winter
yeah.
Soldier
I would
for
agree
me.
with that too. If they
Yeah.
were one movie, it
Yeah.
would be above Winter Soldier.
You fuckers better see how much I liked Marvel in the first 3 phases. Look how many we have mid and lower. Barely anything.
I told you there was only going to be one movie of why was this made.
Yeah, I used to like this franchise. I mean this series. I don't know what the fuck you want to call it, but okay. Last one to end
Juggernaut.
the Infinity Saga. You got Pete coming back from the snap, getting Juggernaut. Coming. I'm the Juggernaut, bitch.
Oh, God.
You have Pete coming back from the snap, getting back to his normal life, going on a school trip.
Sorry.
I like Peter just trying to take a trip with his classmates. That's a nice, like, I need a break. I was just through a
Now-
trauma. I just want to be a kid. I love that. Again, it comes to the Stony. Again, it comes to the Tony issue where Mysterio's whole motive is Tony
Yeah.
Stark this and Tony Stark that. I don't like the fucking glasses. I don't like how easy Pete gives the glasses over to Mysterio.
Yeah.
The effects are really fucking cool. Like the way Mysterio is handled in the movie is awesome.
Yeah.
I love Iron
right
Man
on.
coming out of the grave.
It's right
Yeah.
on par with what Mysterio would do in the comics and cartoons. And stuff.
Yeah, I like Mysterio actually. I just those other issues kind of hold it back compared to Homecoming.
Out of the 3 Spider-Man movies that we've got with Tom Holland, I think this one is the one I enjoyed the Peter MJ relationship the most.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I felt like they kind of were a little short in the third one, and we talked about that when we talked about that movie.
Yes, you hate love. We get it.
I don't hate
Yeah.
love. I love it when it's done right, and a lot
think-
of times it's just not.
No, I think this movie
I think they did it right this movie. Yeah.
Well, I think Far From Home didn't have nearly as much going on as No Way Home. So you have more
Right.
time to develop this love story.
And
No Way
that's
Home
very
is fucking chaos.
that's a valid defense for No Way Home for sure.
But I agree with you. This is the best Pete and MJ.
Yeah, I love his awkwardness with like when he's trying to just everything is great.
He just wants to give her that damn gift.
I know. and then what's up with God dang him, what's his name? We haven't even
Flash?
talked about him. No, not Flash. His Ned. Yes, Ned. What's up with
Yeah.
Ned? He's got like him and that girl they're dating for like the whole movie from the
Oh,
beginning, and then they just break up at the end, and they're just like, it's cool. I'm like, what?
I know the reason they threw that in there.
Why?
Is it comic? It's comic book related, right?
Yeah, Ned and Betsy dated. They were married when he became Hobgoblin
Okay,
Uh,
yeah.
in the comics.
For those of you,
I
who
do
don't
love-
know, Ned does become Hobgoblin in the comics.
Yeah,
And they make a reference, I think it's in No Way Home, where he said, "Don't worry, Pete, I'll never try to kill you." Like,
Yeah.
Yes.
Did they do that for a reason? But he also has
And
the
the-
cape, so is he
and
like strange?
and the best friend of that Toby talks about having to watch die is a goblin. So
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah,
it
'Cause, yeah,
kind
they
of all
both
wraps
lost.
around to.
Both their best friends. That they're all of them. They're a goblin.
Wait,
'Cause,
Oh, well, that's
check
true.
this out.
But even though
From Tim, Mike hates love, gets engaged. That's funny. That should be like a meme. I know that's a meme template. Does something opposite. Like it's like Bad Luck Brian. Those are like the OG meme days, baby.
yeah.
oh my god, Bad Luck
Yeah,
Brian
but-
was great.
Hell yeah. But yeah, overall, I mean, No Way Home, or God damn it, No Way Home is great. Far From Home, it's fine. I don't like what's he, the night monkey or the night
Yeah, Night Monkey.
when he wears the black suit?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. The elemental creatures didn't do much for me. I do like when he has to rely on his spidey sense at the end and get around all the drones. Really badass scene. Obviously, the big reveal at the end, fucking Mysterio exposes him for being Peter Parker. That was a
Yeah.
cool lead up into No Way Home.
Then
And
we
we
also
got-
got J. Jonah
Jameson.
Hell
back.
like a J.K.
yeah.
Simmons back.
Yeah.
Yeah, but my issues kind of weigh this one down a little bit for me. Tim says, Far From Home, I have it C. Just wasn't as strong to me as Homecoming. Agreed. For what it's worth, I rated No Way Home higher than Homecoming. Wait, No Way Home higher than Homecoming? Well, yeah, you should.
Oh, yeah.
No Way Home's
Yeah,
way
no.
better than Homecoming.
Yeah, it is.
No Way Home to me is very close to being S tier. Might even be S tier.
Yeah.
It is for me.
But we'll get there. That's going to be to people listening. When you watch that tier list, 4 and 5, it's going to be a lot more weighted to the bottom.
It's also going to be a lot shorter.
Not if Corey. Not if Corey has anything to say about it. Yeah. Remember when I was like,
Corey's
don't
gonna
worry,
be
guys,
so
this
pissed
one's
during
not
that
gonna be
episode.
Right, guys. Remember when I was like, this isn't going to be 2 hours. Don't worry.
We're now 3 hours.
But yeah, just wrapping up. So what do you guys think of this one? Where does it go? And the Pantheon. I'll show you one more time here.
Far From Home. For me,
let me ask: do you like it better or worse than Homecoming?
I like Homecoming more. So
okay, is
to
it
me,
the same tier?
I think it's mid.
I like Far From Home more than Homecoming, but
Whoa.
Do you?
Yeah.
Oh, Mike, I might go with you on mid.
Corey's like, fuck.
Then we're
Mike-
moving Iron Man 3 and Hulk. There's no fucking way they're better than that.
Well,
this is a group tier list. I don't agree with some shit. Mike, would you rather watch? It's going over Ant-Man and Wasp, Age of Ultron, or Far From Home?
I'd watch Far From Home over Age of Ultron for sure.
Boom. How you like that, Corey?
He hates it.
He said I hate it. All right. Well, guys, let's leave that on a sour note. Corey's all pissy.
It's only going to get worse when we do the next tier list.
Oh, it's gonna be a lot more arguing.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
guys, real quick. I mean, there's nothing we're gonna talk each other out of. I think we're all kind of set in our ways. Is there anything? I know, Corey, you think Far From Home's a travesty being at that tier. You think what? Which one? What other one were you really pissed at?
I can't really see it that well, but
he's pissed at.
I
wish I could zoom.
I was pretty mad. I'm trying to. I was mad about Guardians 2 being under S rank.
Okay.
Because I disagree with that, but
I was absolutely appalled at Civil War.
I disagree with Age of Ultron being where it's at. I disagree with Far From Home being where it's at.
Do we want to do this?
And yeah,
we can all make. Do we want to do this real quick? We can all make one move up or down.
Oh man.
Corey. You can
no,
move
because
one
I
up
know
or
what
down.
Adrian wants to move.
Actually, I don't. Wait, what did you think I was going to move?
Thor.
Oh, yeah, that probably would drop.
Well, you know what I would move.
Yeah, Civil War. Yeah, fuck that. We're not going to do that.
No.
Guys, that's our tier list. That is a group tier list. That is the idea of it. We're not all going to agree. There's some placements I fucking hate. Thor should not be that high. The original Captain America should not be that high. Hated it.
So I'm going to say this. What you like is what you like. There's no wrong, like right or wrong, really.
Except both your opinions.
As you see, the three of us, we don't agree on everything, which makes for a good listen because we get the debate.
Unlike Tim and Celine, we don't agree with everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tim, though, in the Patreon Discord, both of you should send us a tier list if you do one. I want to see how similar they are.
Do that.
Maybe you can talk Josie into doing one as well. And thank you guys so much for fucking sticking around this whole time. You guys are awesome.
3 fucking hours.
That's unbelievable. Even if you set your phone down and you just let it play, we'll take it.
We'll take it.
I'm starting to wonder if maybe we should have just done each phase separately.
And let's end it with
oh my god. That was too much. I can't take it.
Yeah, my reaction when you guys have Thor that high.
Oh god.
All right, guys. Yeah, this fucking thing's been going long enough. In the future, we will do a Marvel Phase 4, Phase 5. I think that's what they're at right now, right?
Yeah.
5? Maybe you could
5.
incorporate shows, although I'd have nothing to say about that. Okay.
Yeah.
Tim's heading to work. Perfect timing, buddy. And I think Celine's going to bed around now, so perfect. Yeah, but guys, seriously, thank you for sticking around this whole time. That's fucking unbelievable. 3 hours. You guys are watching a Christopher Nolan movie, essentially, and you chose to watch our dumbasses. I love Christopher Nolan. I'm saying
I did watch it. I did watch one last night.
We'll get to that. But yeah, you guys already know. But for anyone that might watch this video in the future, we do have a Patreon. It is patreon.com/cultureshockpodcast. These lovely people that you're seeing in the live chat in the comments are top contributors. We love you guys so much. Thank you. But for as little as $1, you can go over, check that out, see all the benefits you get. $5 tier lets you vote once a month for an episode we do. The last one was a bad movie. Thank you guys for the Batman and Robin. I had a great time.
He did, guys.
I love that fucking movie. And then also, we have a YouTube every Wednesday and Saturday. We post videos on here. You can also check out our lives. It's going to be more of a semi-regular thing. We don't have a set schedule, but that is Culture Shock Podcast on YouTube. Give us a share, give us a subscribe, all that good stuff. Get us some views. I have my own YouTube channel, Baker Reviews. I rank and review movies. Sometimes I'm thinking about incorporating a tier list type system. Maybe I'll have some guests on, some Culture Shock dudes maybe sometime. But check that out, youtube.com/Baker Reviews.
Baker Reviews.
Thank you as always, Mike. And other than that, Corey, where can they find us on the socials and show us their own tier list?
Yeah, on the socials, it's on Facebook, it's Culture Shock Podcast. On Instagram, it's Culture Shock 21. On TikTok, it's CS Podcast 21. And on Twitter, where I spend most of my time, or X, whatever the hell you want to call it, it's also CS Podcast 21. Yeah, please come over there. Let us know how wrong they are about Far From Home. And Age of Ultron. I love
Wait,
the two
guys.
movies.
Wait, guys, should we drop Iron Man 2 down a tier because it had Elon Musk in it?
Yeah, maybe.
It'll stay for now.
He did change Twitter to X.
I'm gonna
So
I'm gonna
stupid.
save this template so next time we do it, we'll have all this.
Okay.
So it's not like a fresh tier list. We'll have all our other entries. So yeah, I'll save the template. And Corey did the socials. Again, for all of you that stuck around this entire time, you guys are fucking incredible. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Give us
And-
$1 and become our friend.
Yeah. And to end the stream, I guess I would say, give me money. That's how I should end it. All right, guys, we're getting the hell out of here. See you later.
Peace.